Hello, I mean me, am just streaming late at night. I'm guessing this is mostly going to be seen by the replay crew, and I appreciate you so much. I'm going to be looking at a Holton Buggs video, and it's a little bit long, so I may have to break it up into a few videos, but I'm going to go ahead and load it up, and while I do, I'm going to throw up the fair. No, I'm not. I'm going to just throw it up, and we're going to go with it. Oh, geez, that's loud. That's quite loud. I am going to throw up the fair use right now. And I'm going to double check. I can hear myself. With my luck this week, it has been a moment. Let's see. Right now? Yep. Okay, we're good to go. Okay. Let me figure this out. Okay. I'm going to throw this up for a second, and I will be right back. All right. I'm going to go ahead and put my...
Hold!
Dear God.
Hold on!
Why does that sound so loud? Oh, okay. I think... All right. Let me just go ahead and tell... Oh. Hey, Janet, this is Holton Buggs from ibüümerang. And there's a few reps in this company that are a little sassy, so gonna try to be as careful as I can. But I accidentally had the sound up too loud. Oh, yeah. I'm not sure if this was when he went before he created ibüümerang or if this is after, but he was obviously a super big seller. I'm gonna go ahead and just pop this up on Instagram real quick. Okay. So let's go. It's probably just gonna be you and me, Janet. Let me know if this sounds okay. I know this is like the story of my whole week, but it is what it is. I'm having technical difficulties. Oh my gosh.
I said, Are you ready? Yes! That's a little bit better. Now, Eric called me up and he says, listen, Holton. He says, I've got the most dynamic distributors that desire to have their dreams come true in network marketing. This is the finest gathering of distributors out of anywhere in the world. That's what he told me. And I said, can I please come, even if you sneak me in, let me be the last speaker so that all the good ones have gone already. Just in case those people have gone home already, they've got the good speakers. He says, I'll let you come and say a couple words to them. But I need you guys to convince me that my friend Eric was right. Because you just heard Donna says, how you do anything
This must
is
have
how
been
you.
before he did iboomerang, because if he was still on the Eric Worre's, I turned my earbuds. Okay, all right.
Do what? Everything. If you won't show up for you, let me ask you a question. Your son, your daughter, your distributor, or somebody else that you personally sponsor, I want you to imagine right now that they're getting recognized at the highest level in your organization, in your company. How would your response be? Hold on for a second. Hold on. No, hold on. This is a teaching moment here. I'm just telling you. Hold on for a second. Reason I'm saying.
Janet, this feels a little manipulative, right? I feel like this is manipulative. We're not even into like the first 5 minutes of this video.
And that is this. Okay? Because some of you, I say, are you ready? Yeah, I'm ready. Okay? Now, we're going to do this one more again. Okay? Anybody understand what I mean by one more again? Yeah. Those of you who don't understand, I'll be, politically correct. We're going to do this once again, boys and girls. All right? Are you ready? Awesome. That's what I'm talking about. Give yourselves a round of applause. Man, I am excited. I just have to give a big round of applause, guys. We have to give great appreciation for this venue, for all the hard work, the vision of putting it together. Because there's not too many venues with the level of integrity that I'm witnessing here put together on a non-company specific basis. Okay? Than what Eric and Marina have put together. So let's give them a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Huge round of applause.
This was obviously before the Panini, and I think it might have even been before they built their studio. I'm not sure. Because this isn't a different location, it seems like. And this was obviously before he built iboomerang. And he is a public figure. He is the owner and founder of a company, and he is a paid speaker. That's why we're not blurring his face, and we're also not going to disparage anybody. We're going to critique what he says.
I'm actually honored to be here just to share a few words of wisdom with many of you. This is this is actually my first time, actually second time. Well, for distributors, my first time ever going to speak somewhere, whereas it wasn't a group of distributors that I was a part of a company. And it's awesome just to see so many different people from different backgrounds. And I was telling a guy in the audience there in the back as I was walking out, I was here a little earlier, and I said, it's awesome to be somewhere where nobody knows you. I could just walk and talk or whatever it was. I sat next to a lady. She had no idea who I was. Sat next to this guy, and he was just it was just awesome. And so I'm grateful to be here, and hopefully something that I say today will.
Is that like a backwards dig of, I feel good that nobody knows me and I can just kind of be in the crowd, but it's also like I'm supposed to be known and you should know who I am because I'm a big enough person in network marketing? That's the way that's coming across to me, but maybe I'm hypersensitive to that. I'm not sure. Come on, play.
Enlighten you in some form or fashion. I'm not here to really teach you how to build a business. I think you've got probably some of the greatest teachers from the companies that Eric told me that's represented here. You have the best of the best when it comes to teaching the industry of network marketing. You've got the best of the best. And I'm not one who believes in plugging in to the guest speaker. You plug into your plugged in upline. So what we're here to do this weekend and all the speakers.
Not sure why it's lagging. Yep, this is the CEO of iboomerang. He was a huge salesman. He does a lot of business, and I'm wondering if he outsold Jesse Lee Ward. Because I have a feeling he might have. But I mean, he's a very good salesman, and he started. I'm pretty sure he either did it himself or he was one of the co-founders of ibüümerang.
Speakers who've been here this weekend, I'm sure, have shared what they've actually done and something that's either inspired them or something that they've done that has actually helped them to get to where they are. And what my goal is to do the exact same thing and just to share some things with you. For those of you who know me, I never know what I'm going to say when I get on stage. I
downloaded this, but I'm not sure why it's lagging. Let me see if I can get it to buffer. I'm not streaming it from YouTube. I download them and then I try to play them from my desktop. So I'm just going to double check. Where? Nope, that's not it. I'm just double checking that I'm just trying to see why it's not buffering. Okay.
speak from PowerPoints. I don't have notes ever. I planned that I was going to write my speech for this event about 2 weeks ago, and I did. Where's my notes? I left my notes. Anyway, it was about 4 words that I put on.
This doesn't seem doesn't come across as too professional, but that's okay. He's very sharply dressed. He looks like someone, like a speaker you'd pay for. I don't know how I feel about looking like this unprepared. Interesting. Come on. Oh, geez. Okay, let me try to do this again. Add to stream. Nope. Remove. Video file. It's on my desktop, so it shouldn't be.
Hold on. I'll share.
You weren't even 5 minutes in.
Told me that's represented here. You have the best of the best when it comes to teaching the industry of network marketing. You've got the best of the best. And I'm not one who believes in plugging into the guest speaker. You plug into your plugged in upline. So what we're here to do this weekend, and all the speakers who've been here this weekend, I'm sure, have shared what they've actually done and something that's either inspired them or something that they've done that has actually helped them to get to where they are. And what my goal is to do the exact same thing and just to share some things with you. For those of you who know me, I never know what I'm going to say when I get on stage. I don't speak from PowerPoints. I don't have notes ever. I planned that I was going to write my speech for this event about 2 weeks ago, and I did. Where's my notes? I left my notes.
Well, it doesn't
anyway, it was about 4 words that I put on a sheet of paper. It happens like that all the time, and it's the truth. I don't plan what I'm going to say. I normally just get a good feel from the audience to just share what's on my heart and share what's going on. That's how I've always been in this industry, and that's what I've done. And but I'm excited for what's going on. I think the industry now is really doing some incredible things. I think 2014 for all of you can be your year if you choose for it to be. It's not going to be just because you attended this weekend. It's going to be because you selected yourself. It's going to be because you made a decision for 2014 to be your particular.
Yeah. This is a while ago. This is 2014, so 7 years ago. Interesting. And I think ibüümerang came around a little after this.
Year. Now, I got stopped on the way to the restroom there. Somebody was asking me about my income and stuff like that. I heard this rumor. I saw something on it.
I thought he just said that he could go to this event and nobody knew him. But then he just said he got stopped. So what's the answer? I've got questions. Oh, so now it makes sense why Eric now. Yep. Because she was second and this dude was first. Yeah, I don't know if he's a really good seller. And she wasn't as obviously when he was top, I know she's told a story where she thought she was making in the room comparably like a lot of money. I know she makes a ton of money regardless, but I think at this time he was outselling her for sure. Yeah.
Internet. And he says, well, they can't put it on the internet if it's not true. How many of y'all saw that commercial? Okay. But anyway, rumors get spread all the time. Sometimes they're good rumors. Sometimes they're bad rumors. How many of you have been the recipient of some rumors? How many of you have actually been the deliverer of rumors? Okay. So everybody who's not raising your hand, you're telling me that you're a liar too, right? We all spread rumors in this industry. I'll tell you one rumor that kind of it was a rumor. It kind of worked in my favor, but it was a rumor. I never forget. This was back in maybe 2003. 2003, I was working in this industry, and I was obviously very excited again. I had been in the industry at that time, 2003, 13 years. I had just started. I've been making money in this industry now 3 years.
There we go.
3 years I have been making money in this industry, and I'll share with you a little bit of my story. It took me a little while. Most people look and say, right, man, you're overnight success. I am. It took me actually somewhere about 18 years to be overnight success.
Doesn't Jessie Lee say that exact same thing, except she uses her timetable for that? It took her however many years, 11 plus years to be an overnight success. Did she get that from Holton? I've got questions. Oh my gosh.
Okay. And but 2003, I never forget what happened is 2005, I happened to be one of those lucky ones who was chosen to be written up in the magazine because of some results that I had, because of my status with a particular company. And the magazine was called Millionaire Magazine. Okay. How many of you would read a magazine called Millionaire Magazine? Specifically, if you're in network marketing, you would. So here it was. They have one article that they do per year, one per year that they call Billionaire. Okay, so they've got all these articles, and I was just selected for the Billionaire edition. Not because I was better than everybody else in my company or not. I wasn't. It was just that when my article came up, it was the time for them to do the Billionaire edition. So here it was. I'm selected for Billionaire. My wife and I have this nice picture, and it says Millionaire Maker. I didn't choose the title or any of that. Now, what happened was this here. This was the time, I think, around the time Donald Trump was just about to start the show Apprentice. All right. And so there was kind of this debate as to who was going to go on the cover of the magazine. Okay. Donald Trump or me. Okay. And because I know he was starting his show and I didn't want him to be embarrassed by being somewhere in the middle, I said, Donald, go ahead and take the cover. No problem whatsoever. And he did. He took the cover. So here he is. He's on the cover of this magazine, Billionaire Magazine. They've got Donald Trump on the cover, and somewhere back in there, they've got Holton and Buggs in there. And here's how rumors get started. I'll never forget, I had a lady in my organization. She was a very good friend of mine, and she asked me about would I get on a conference call and talk to a group of hers that was in the Bahamas. I said, sure, I'll do it. So I get on the phone. I said, Kim, yeah, no problem. I'll get on the phone. And I'll never forget, she had maybe about 15 distributors on the phone call. Now, I'm on the phone call talking to them, excited. They're excited and everything. And then they asked me one question. They said, well, Mr. Buggs, would you be willing to come to the Bahamas to do a presentation? I said, let me think about it. Yes, I'll come. It's the Bahamas, all right? So as I think about it, and then I ask them, how many people will you guys put together in a room if I choose to come? They say, well, we're going to put together 200 people. Now, how many of you have ever been lied to? You're going to do a meeting. They tell you that they know the president, they know the Secretary of State, they know everybody, right? And when you get there, it's different. So I'm expecting 50. They said 200. My expectations are 50. I'm managing my expectations. So, but what had happened was this magazine came out. So Kim, this is what she did. I'll never forget, she took a copy of this magazine cover, color copy of the front of the magazine. And then she took my one-page article and she made another copy of it. She put them together, went to wherever, Kinko's, FedEx, whatever it's called now, and she made one little flyer, all right? So you didn't know who was the cover. You flip it over, I'm on the cover, all right? It's only 2 pages anyway. So this is what she did. She took that and she sent that along with a DVD of some presentation I had never seen. By the way, don't do that. Check with your upline before you ever send something that they've never seen. But she sent the DVD that I had never seen along with this one little flyer.
Now, Janet, I bet that's an exaggeration. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's not an exaggeration, but I've seen so many salespeople, and I have nothing bad against salespeople. My brother's a salesman. My dad has been in sales for over 40 years. You know, they're not slimy, so I know good salespeople. I've seen a lot of salespeople stretch the truth to be funny or stretch the truth for their talks. And, you know, my brother and my dad don't do it, but I've seen salespeople do it. So I'm just wondering if this has been tweaked to hit the audience a little better.
Over to the Bahamas. Here it is. I get to the Bahamas. This is how rumors get started and how they'll mess your entire organization up. All right? So I go over to the Bahamas. I'm all excited. Why? Because I'm ready to get through this presentation, to go to the sandy beaches and do all of this kind of stuff and chill with my pineapple drink and all of this stuff. Yeah. And so I'm at the top of the hotel, and it's about time for me to come on down. I come on down. And I come down, I'm all dressed up, and I've got my, I'm ready. I'm ready to take on these 20, 25 people that's showing up, all right? Because I had already kind of, 50 I was expecting. I'm like, it's the Bahamas. I don't know. I haven't talked to these people. They may have 25, 20, but it doesn't matter. I'm going to give my best presentation ever, and then I'm going to the beach. So here it is. I come downstairs, or coming down the escalator. And as I get to the bottom or the top of the escalator, I'm looking down, and it's this huge crowd of people in this one particular bar that had multiple rooms, and I knew my room was on the other side. So I go down and I see all of these people, a sea of people at the base of the escalator. And I'm like, okay, what's going on here? What's going on? Why are all these? I'm thinking, I need to go and see whoever's speaking here if they can get a crowd like this. I need to see them, right? And so I go down and I walk down, and I'm going through the crowd, and people are pushing and shoving and pushing and shoving. And I heard they close the doors and says, hold on, we can't let any more people in. And I'm like, man, I want to get in and see who's in, right? And so what happened is I see this lady, and there's all this commotion, people going back and forth, they're shouting and screaming and all this stuff. And see, Bahamas is one of those countries that when I go, I blend in. So nobody really knew who I was, if you know what I'm talking about. All right? All right, so what happens, I get down and I'm like, what's going on here? I'm going to my room. I'm trying to get to my room. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? And this lady, she looked at me. She said, you haven't heard. I'm like, no, I haven't heard. I'm thinking, I don't know what's going on. I'm wondering what's happening, She said, you haven't heard, sir? I'm like, no, I haven't heard. What do you mean? What's going on? She reached into her purse. And I got a little shaky when she reached into her purse, right? She reached into her purse and she grabs the flyer and she says, look, the first black billionaire from Houston, Texas has come to the Bahamas to do a meeting.
Oh, no.
And I'm like, hold on for a second.
Oh, no.
See, the rumor got out that I was a billionaire in the Bahamas. 1,700 people showed up because of a rumor. See, it has nothing to do with whether it's a rumor or not. They were fired up.
No, it did have to.
They were excited.
It did.
That's why I had you do it over again. Because how you do anything.
It did have to do with a rumor. It did have to do with a rumor. That yes, they were fired up because of a rumor. Hey, Karina. I'm doing a late night stream. Come on, play. Remove. Add to stream. Play. Gosh darn it.
It's how you do everything. And I never forget, ladies and gentlemen, I went into that room and 1,700 people, they turned away 800 plus people. Very first meeting that I had ever done. in the Bahamas.
Oh,
Okay?
no.
And this was back in, like I said, 2005. But rumors start all the time. Rumors spread all the time. And I'll never forget, leaving there, and I was all excited, and I was hoping that it would happen again everywhere else that I went.
No, why would you be excited that so many people came? They came because they thought they were meeting the first, they thought he was a billionaire because of a rumor. So why would you feel confident about giving your presentation when that wasn't the truth? I'm not saying he's not a good salesman. I'm not saying he doesn't make a lot of money. I'm saying that I would feel I wouldn't feel great about giving that presentation when everyone thought they were coming to see a billionaire and he wasn't a billionaire.
But I couldn't start the rumor as good as they started the rumor. But anyway, I want to talk to you about if there's anything that I would call what I'm going to talk to you about today is, I guess I would call it the domino effect. I'm going to talk to you about the domino effect. Because people always ask me, things about how do I get to how did I make what I make, or how did I become successful in this industry of networking? And I used to get these questions all the time, and I'll share with you one little caveat here. Before I joined my current company, I've been with my current company 5 years. I've been doing this industry for 23 years, started when I was 3. And
that was funny, okay.
But before I joined, I used to have people ask me all the time.
I'd feel like if it was the original millionaire, not billionaire. I mean, that's fair. And I guess I obviously feel some sort of way. I feel some sort of way about taking advantage of people's emotions, and in this way where a rumor started, and it didn't start because of him. Someone else started it. It wasn't that it was his fault. I think I just would feel that they weren't going to get what they thought they were going to get when they came to the talk. And he's a good speaker, but you're not a billionaire.
Because I had some success. I'd actually become a $1 million earner before in network marketing. And people would ask me, what would you do if you had a chance to do it all over again? And my answer was, this is what my answer was. It wasn't it was my answer. It was for me. It wasn't for anybody else. I never tried to impress anybody else. My answer was, I would believe much bigger, much sooner.
Doesn't Jesse Lee Ward say that same thing? And I only say this because he is speaking on one of Eric Worre's stages. He's speaking at one of Eric Worre's events. I feel like Jesse Lee has taken that specific saying for herself. I'm pretty sure I've heard her say that same thing. And maybe he took it from someone else too. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Let me know in the comments, or let me know in the live chat if you're awake this late at night.
Ladies and gentlemen, what I have found is this: 23 years of doing this industry, and I don't know it all. I can't tell you I'm the sharpest in this industry. I am not one of the sharpest. I don't know as much of the stuff as some of the people who've spoken here, but I do know a few things. And I'm going to talk about just those few things that I do know, a few things that I have mastered. I am not the best at it, but I'm telling you, I am excellent when it comes to a couple of few things that I'm going to talk to you about. But I said I would believe much bigger, much sooner. Why? Many of you right now, some of you here, and before I even go, I want to know, can I tell you the truth? Okay, Eric, do I have permission to tell them the truth? Okay, now, because some of you have squandered a fortune already. Because some of you are waiting until you get to $10,000 a month before you believe. You've already missed millions.
What do you mean squandered a fortune? I guess we're not gonna clarify that.
I said I would believe much bigger, much sooner. And I would say it over and over and over again. People would always, and they would want to go, they would ask me another question. Well, could you tell me the real answer? I will believe much bigger, much sooner. Okay?
Yeah, and it might be Eric Worre's influence because if all these people are speaking on the stages, if they're all running in the same groups, they're probably picking up certain things. I know, and I think that's natural. I think when you hang out with your friends, you pick up certain things they say or certain phrases. Not everyone does. I'm just saying. I think it probably is. It's possible, at least. I think I just have a few thoughts about not attributing things that you hear from other people to the person you heard it from. Is that quite plagiarism? I don't know. I know in written form it is. I know that Rachel Hollis got in trouble for forgetting to attribute some of her quotes to Maya Angelou and a couple of other people. Yeah, maybe I've been watching too much JLW. I after the 90-day run, I think I'm just my brain is like, did she say that? I'm pretty sure she said that. I'll have to find the video clip. But I don't know. It's just interesting. I it's not interesting. Um what do you think about saying something and not giving the credit to the person who said it? Because there's some things word for word that sure do sound like what he said that she takes for herself. Or when she did a training the other day about she kind of took a story from the Bible and did a sales training that someone else had done, and she did attribute it to that person. But why wouldn't you just point people to the exact training so that you could give them credit? And I guess here I'm critiquing this speech. And sure, I'm gonna link it in my description so you can go and watch it for yourself if you want to. Maybe I'm being hypocritical. That's totally possible. And as I am thinking through this, maybe I'm doing the same thing. I don't know, but I think maybe commenting on content that's already been created or speeches that have already been given or books that have been already been given, that might be different than saying that you've come up with ideas yourself. Now, one of the examples is the Emily rules I have in my description about the kind of space I want to create here on my channel. I attribute it to Emily D. Baker. That's why they're called the Emily rules. And she has them listed on her channel. And so I give credit to her because she was the one who wrote them. And so I mean, I hope that that's the right way to do that. I don't want to take credit for it. It's not my idea. It's just the similar ideas I believe in. But I guess have lots of feelings. Yeah, I just have yeah, exactly, Karina. I personally am huge on credit. I am too. I do try to give credit. And I think it's important. I don't know how important it is and if it should be important for everyone, but it's definitely important to me.
And that's because I knew that's what I was missing. I knew that's what I was missing because, see, before in network marketing, when I joined, I was 18 years of age when I actually got started in this industry. My first 7 years, I never made more than $500 in any one month. There was 3 separate months that I made $500, but I spent $1,500 on some products. I wasn't.
What? Okay, I'm just gonna rewind it. Did he just say that he only made $500 a month for 17? Maybe he didn't say that. I'm gonna rewind it first.
I knew that's what I was missing. I knew that's what I was missing because, see, before in network marketing, when I joined, I was 18 years of age when I actually got started in this industry. My first 7 years, I never made more than $500 in any one month.
My first 7 years, I never made more than $500 in any one month.
There was 3 separate months that I made $500.
So only in 3 months, within those 7 years, he made $500.
But I spent $1,500 on some products.
A month?
I wasn't so good at math.
He spent $1,500 a month on product for 7 years in a row. And only in 3 months of those 7 years, he made $500. I know he made other amounts of money, but he's making it seem like the biggest amount of money that he brought home in those 7 years was $500. And he's spending $1,500 a month? So he obviously must have been working another job to supplement the multi-level marketing business he was trying to get off the ground. By multi-level marketing business, I mean what he was doing as an independent contractor to sell and recruit his way to a bigger paycheck.
$1,500, $500 check every 3 months. Now, back then, I had to pay my group out of that $500.
What do you mean pay your group?
I had a group in 7 years that never totaled 50 people. I'm not talking all 50 in at one time. I'm talking, I averaged about 7 new people joining my company, my organization, per year for the first 7 years. And I never knew that I was failing. I never felt like, like I was losing. I maintain excitement. I never have missed an event that I qualified to attend in 23 years.
Okay. I have so many things to say. The math should math. The math should math, and this is what I mean. If you are spending $1,500 a month on product and you're earning $500, that means you're already at a $1,000 loss. That does not even include what you're doing to take care of your team. So his job, I'm guessing his extra job that he worked in the first 7 years that he was trying to get his network marketing business off the ground, was supplementing what he was buying in product. And I know when you're starting a business in general, not a multi-level marketing, independent contractor thing, but a business, sometimes there's an extended period of time before you move into the profit. I'm concerned about what this message would say to people where they wouldn't acknowledge losing so much money a month. And not everyone has the disposable income to cover that loss every month, to cover $1,000 loss every month for the first 7 years. Man.
Outside of tonight, I'm actually missing my company's Christmas party. Okay? 23 years. I have never missed an event because I stayed engaged. But what happened was I realized why I wasn't making any money. It wasn't the company. It wasn't that I needed to do another company. It wasn't any of that I needed a new upline. I realized much later that issue was me. I realized that issue was, it was a product of things that I had seen, product of things that I had heard, product of things that I had actually witnessed. See, I realized that I had been messed up. I realized that I had been sold a bill of goods and somebody had actually messed with this head of mine and it caused me to fail. Okay?
Oh.
And I'll never forget, as a matter of fact, I had a mentor, and I recommend you get a mentor. I had a mentor when I was pretty young, and this is the person, this is why I say you've got to be careful who you listen to. You've got to be very careful who you listen to. But my mentor messed me up. I had to change. I had no idea because they told me a bunch of lies.
Okay, are you going to tell us? I'm guessing he's going to tell us what the lies are. But you should make the decisions to include or exclude people from your life based based on you, not based off of someone who has a financial vested interest in you purchasing from a company saying that someone's negative or someone isn't the right mentor or whatever. You need to make that decision for yourself. And if someone is pressing you and saying that person's negative, this person's the right person to be in your life, you know, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm saying what is being left out of the conversation? What is the motivation for them saying that? And make that decision for yourself. Don't get pressed into cutting people off from your life.
I'm listening and I'm following and I'm thinking that they really, really know what they're talking about, and I'm going down one path and I'm getting results that I don't want, but I was plugged into this mentor. As a matter of fact, 5 years ago when I first joined my company, I called up every single person that was in my telephone. This is the first time. Remember, it's 18 years now. 5 years ago was 18 years that I've been in the industry. This was the very first time I had called every single name that I could actually get a hold of. If your name was in my phone book, I called it. And this is the other thing that I did. If your name was in my phone book and I didn't call it, I deleted your number. This is why. I'm going to give you another one, guys. Because I didn't want to carry around negative relationships of people that I didn't want, so I deleted their number.
This is my personal opinion. Oh, Karina says, I don't think his mentor had anything to do with it. He just didn't know what a profit and loss statement was. Yeah, I think that's fair. And he also didn't finish his statement about what was wrong with his mentor. But he just said that he's deleting numbers out of his phone because he didn't want to carry around negative relationships. Here, answer me this question. If you're pro multi-level marketing and you're watching this video and you find yourself being offended by my reactions or my responses to what he's saying, if you take a step back and you think about this for a second, what is the purpose of deleting someone from your contact list based on how they show up for you or how you show up for them in multi-level marketing? Why is that the standard to weigh your relationships? And everyone can do whatever they want. I get that. I would just have questions, and I would just say, why are we going to these extreme lengths that involve cutting out relationships for a job? That doesn't really pass the sniff test for me.
If your number didn't exist, it was in my phone, and I didn't want you in my business, delete. Because remember, this is what happened. I now have a chance. Remember, the advice that I would give to everybody else, I would think much bigger, much faster. I said this for years and years and years and years and years. And here I am 5 years ago in a transition state. Guess what? I now need to follow my own advice. I must think much bigger right now. I've got to think much bigger before I even sign the application. And I did. I made sure I got 2 years of mental experience before I put my name on the application. And I did that process in 11 days. 11 days of me pre-launch and pre-thinking and doing all of the stuff. 2 years of experience, 2 years of planning. I had planned out my future before I even signed the application, because I said, I'm going to think much bigger, much faster. I'm going to do some things that I'd never done before. And I called every single person, and the first person that I called was my mentor.
Okay.
I didn't even know that it was that person. I'm just making phone calls. I'm excited. I'm fired up. I'm making phone calls. I'm calling every single person that I know. And I never forget, this is how that phone call went. And my dream, your dream sometimes can almost get snatched away from you if you're not careful. Pick up the phone, didn't know it was my mentor on the other end. And this is what I'm saying here. I'm saying, and I'm, hello, blah, 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 this is Holton, and I'm asking them a little qualifying question. And the first thing that they came back with, is this Holton? With that type of tone. Is this Holton? Yeah, this is Holton. Are you calling me about another one of those things? Yeah, I'm just trying to talk. I've got a new, listen, I don't want to hear about your new nothing. You've called me several times about these things. I've lost money in the first one. I lost money in the second one. The third one was illegal. This one's probably illegal. You're probably going to go to jail. You're going to lose all your friends and family and all of that kind of stuff. Matter of fact, don't call me no more about your MLM because I really don't even like you. And I'm like, Mom, I just want you to just try.
He's funny. He's funny.
I just want you to be a customer.
He's funny. Come on. He's funny. It's a little.
My mom and I, we have a unique relationship, right?
It's a little refreshing to listen to someone while I don't agree with what he's saying, to listen to a better speaker who's clearer, who doesn't yell, who actually has injects some humor in it. I can appreciate that. And I mean, I can appreciate that. It's much more enjoyable than listening to some of the other MLMers that I've listened to. That was funny. Come on, that was funny.
So, but anyway.
That was funny. Come on.
She messed me up. That was my mentor.
Oh my God.
That's the person who told me a bunch of lies. That's the person who got my head all screwed up because.
Listen to what he said. I know we just got a little laugh. Listen to what he just said. His mentor, which is his mom, said, I lost money in the first one. I lost money in the second one. And he was probably being funny, but he said the third one was illegal. I'm not interested. So think about that. You're putting an opportunity before someone that you have a closer relationship with, and you're putting them in a potentially financially harmful situation. And you can say, they're the one that spent the money. I'm not forcing them to do anything, blah, blah, blah. But I've heard recommendation after recommendation of multi-level marketing coaches saying to practice on your friends and family because it's a safer route to go to try out your sales pitch. And they probably already like you, so they're probably going to buy something from you. Why are you exploiting that relationship for your own financial gain? Yeah, sure. Is it safer? Yeah. Do you need someone to practice on when you are in sales? Maybe. In a regular business opportunity, you can practice with your coworkers or you just practice when you're actually trying to sell a product that people are looking to buy that can stand by itself in an actual market. So I have lots of questions that he has talked his mom into doing this so many times.
Because of what we call the politically correct way of doing certain things. That was the person who told me a structured way of living so that I can get an expected result that she had never had. My mom loves me. She loves me dearly. We have an incredible relationship. So I don't want you to think, man, he hates his mom. No, I love her. I just speak the truth. I tell it like it is.
His mom, oh, that's so painful. Ouch. His mom told the truth too. Did you hear what she said? I lost money in the first one. I lost money in the second one. The third one was illegal. I'm not getting involved with your MLM anymore. She told him the truth too. And he didn't seem to take into account that she lost money. She lost her own hard-earned money in a business model that he showed to her. I've got questions.
But my mom, she prepared me for failure. My mom never made more than $1,300 a month in her entire life. how she's going to teach me how to be a millionaire.
Oh,
but
rude.
I was listening to her.
So rude.
As a matter of fact, she messed me up pretty big time. How many of you in here are messed up right now? Raise your hands if you're messed up.
That is so rude of him to say.
If you didn't raise your hands, that lets me further know how messed up you are, because you don't even know you're messed up. You
Rude.
think you're the deal, right? No, I'm not messed up. No. My mom's got a college degree, all right? But this is what happened.
That was very rude of him to say that about his mom.
Let me give you an example here real quick, all right? I'm going to share something with you, okay? And I'm going to share with you why I ended up 7 years, never more than $500 a month. And then I'll share with you how over the last 5 years I've had the results that you heard Curtis just talk about. Now, I am not as good as my results.
Wait, was that Curtis Broom before him? I have to go look this up after this video. I'll have to look it up because there's only one Curtis I know, and he's associated with Lisa Grossman. So I'm wondering if that was Curtis.
Sorry, I am not that guy. Okay. Some of you may think I am. You may, oh, this guy, he was born with MLM. No. I can't tell you every little secret. I can't tell you every little training topic. I can't tell you every company. I'm really, if you ask people who talk, I'm not a network marketer.
Oh, no.
I'm not embarrassed. I love our industry. That's why I'm here. I'm a businessman. I happen to use network marketing as a platform to create wealth. I'm a businessman first. Mm-hmm. Network marketers, you know what they do? They look for other network marketers. They look for other people who've got network marketers to build their group because they don't go out and do it themselves. I'm a businessman. I understand that this industry has the most incredible aspect of leverage to create wealth that I've ever seen before. So I am a business thing. I'm a businessman. Okay? But my mom, she set me up for failure. She used to tell me some things that, just to share with you. Some of you in here probably know my mom. Raise your hands if you know my mom. So only a few people here, 3 or 4 people know my mom. Some of you have been having some secret conversations with my mom because you're messed up too. She used to tell me the secrets.
Why are you dissing your mom on a public platform in front of hundreds, if not 1,000 people? I know not everyone has a wonderful mom. He just said that he loves his mom. They have a great relationship, and he is trashing her on this stage. That's my opinion. You can have a different opinion. We can talk about it in the comments. If you say that if you're a fully functional adult now and you are saying that you had a great relationship with your mom, I think that it seems like a low move. It seems like bad form to trash your mom for your presentation for other people. You're getting a laugh at her expense. You're positioning yourself into more of a positive light at her expense. I think that's rude. I think that's really rude.
Success. Now, I don't understand why she would just whisper these secrets to success. How many of you had your mom before they should just whisper things in your ear? Why would she whisper them? I'm like, Mom, who's going to find out? It's not like it's a test or anything, right? But she would tell me some things. As a matter of fact, I'm going to reveal some of the things my mom used to tell me when I was a little boy that she probably told you, and you've been messing around talking to my mom. I can prove it to you. As a matter of fact, I'm going to say some things, and I promise you will finish my sentences. Even if you try to hold back with all the restraint that you want to, you're going to finish them because it's so wrapped up in your subconscious mind. My mom got you. First lie she ever told me, son, listen, if you ever want to be successful, go to school, get a good education so you can get a good job. How many of y'all know that's the biggest lie that's ever been told in America? I'm not here downing jobs. I'm just up on opportunity. Okay? So
you have to go to school to become a nurse. You have to go to school to become a doctor. You have to go to school to become any kind of medical tech. You have to go to school to become an architect. You have to go to school to become an engineer. You have to go to school to, gosh, there's so many degrees. Teachers are important. You have to go to school to become a teacher so you can teach others in a public school setting or a private school setting. You have to go to school to become a pilot, you have to go to school to, gosh, I mean, there's countless. I don't even know all the types of jobs that you have to go to school for. Now, do you have to go to school for everything? No. But do you have to, like, sometimes is there like an internship or an apprenticeship you have to do? Yeah, to become an electrician, you have to do years of training. To become a certified, like, plumber, master plumber, journeyman, that, I guess that's an electrician, but you have to go to, like, years of apprenticeship and thousands of hours of training. I mean, and there's lots of good jobs that people need, like, and you're dissing school again to position your opportunity to be better, even though it's not fairly balanced. And yeah, sure, you're talking to a group of network marketers. I'm just shocked. I'm not shocked. I know they do this. I just don't think it's fair to diss school and then to target the people who have gone to school to recruit them into your opportunity. Teachers get targeted, nurses get targeted, lawyers, doctors, people who, like, have really beneficial key I don't know, key roles in society that, we need lawyers, we need doctors, we need nurses, we need medical techs, we need engineers. Y- We need all different types of people to kind of keep things running the way they're supposed to be. And they're just constantly preyed on by network marketers saying, if you're unhappy, you should join my opportunity, and it may or may not lose you a lot of money. Okay, play. Come on.
Those of you who have a job, you should be very thankful that you at least have one, and specifically with the way the economy has been. But you never get rich on your job. You get rich when you build your business. She also told me, she says, Holton, listen, she says, watch out for those get rich quick. On your way to success, make sure you play it. Money can't buy.
Is he just using his mom as the person to deliver these normal truths that people can fill in the blanks to? Because maybe that's the case, but I still find it incredibly rude that he did that to his mom.
Y'all just don't know where to shop. Good things come to those who. Money don't grow on. All rich people are going to. Eric, did you hear him? I didn't say that, okay? I don't want y'all thinking, Eric Holton came up here telling everybody going to hell, all right? See, y'all been hanging out with my mom. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. See, y'all can repeat those things just like that. Okay? It's in your subconscious mind. She messed me up with all of that thinking. So what happens is this. This is why it's been so difficult for some of us in here who have all the skill sets in the world to get to that pinnacle level of success, whatever it is that you call it. It's not necessarily $100,000 a month. It's not necessarily 10,000. Whatever you chose to use this industry for, whatever that peak level is for you, that is your pinnacle. Don't measure it by your neighbors. Don't measure it by your uplines. Don't measure it by mine. That's the biggest issue. Most people in this industry, we compete with people we shouldn't compete with. We compare ourselves to other people, and when you do that, what you're going to do is you're only going to compete against their advantages, and you're going to look at your disadvantages. It will never be equal. But you've got to start to understand what you want out of this industry. My mom, when she gave me all of that stuff, she messed me up. And this is what happened to how you got messed up. When somebody looks you in the face, those of you who are first-time networkers or second-time or third-timers, and when we talk to you about being able to earn a six-figure income in a certain period of time, what happens is my mom's voice goes into your mind. Oh, that must be one of those schemes. He's talking about getting rich quick. Because it's right there in your mind. I had a lady in California, I was doing a presentation, and she stood up, she says, "Sir, are you talking about one of them get-rich-quick schemes?" I said, "Ma'am, I sure hope it is. You ever try getting rich slow?"
Okay, yeah, he's funny, sure. Well, people have real questions, and we kind of want real answers to stuff. So I know that he is He's having a humorous talk to be able to communicate his ideas, and he's getting laughs from the crowd, and that's great. I think he's a good communicator. I think he's probably an incredible salesman. And from what I know of his numbers, he is a really good salesman. He started his own company, and and they have kind of a complicated compensation plan, but most of them multi-level marketers do. Um, I don't know. I'm just, gosh, I'm gonna let him keep talking.
But she messed me up. Okay? Mom messed me up. The domino effect started with mom.
Yep.
Started with mom. Mom messed me up. She started telling me all of these things. She got my head all messed up. She's got my head prepared to be to work for somebody else. She's telling me how great of an employee I can be and how I need to study so I can be this wonderful employee, because she had never, ever experienced the field of entrepreneurial, experience being an entrepreneur. She had never experienced that before. And so here it is. She's giving me the best that she's got, but she messed me up. And so here I was. I'm in a company that now depends on how I think.
You learn how to think in school. You can learn how to think not in school as well, but if you're just biding your time to get out of school, you're not really taking the opportunity in front of you at its best value, or you're not what's the right word? You're not utilizing what you've been given in terms of having access to public education, even if you don't go to college. When you're taught how to write, you learn how to think, you learn how to process through ideas and to collect them in a clear way to communicate or to convince someone of something. So in math, you're learning again that logic in ethics, and I I mean, there's so many important things you do learn in school, even if you don't go to college. So it irritates me that they shame higher education. And no, does everyone need to do that? No, but education is important, and it's not something that it needs to be either one or the other. It's more of a dynamic and complicated and nuanced proposition than what he's claiming it to be. And yeah, does it sound better for his talk? Sure. Is it I have lots of things to say. I wish that there was a way, and I don't agree with multi-level marketing. I wish there was a way to be funny and a clear communicator like he's being, and also live up to that standard of providing information in a direct, more ethical way, in my opinion. Yeah, I would that makes me really sad to think about if his mom ever watched this. That would make me really sad. It's so easy to blame our upbringings in terms of how our parents raised us, but it's up to the individual to wake up and break the cycle. Yeah, and my mom did that with her. So, and he's obviously doing a lot seemingly much better financial position than his mom was in, but man.
And I'm using $1,300 a month thinking, because that's what my mom made. Okay? That's what she made. She used to always tell me, son, make sure you go get your education. That's something they can never take from you. Like, Mom, who want to take it? And why? Why? You know, when I look back on the stuff that she used to say, I'm like, you don't want to get a house that big because there might be somebody else in there living with you and you don't even know it. What are you talking about? Back then it was, you're right, Mom, you're right. Why? She had influence. So ladies and gentlemen, the domino effect started with the people that have an influence in your life. It may be your mom, it may be your dad, it may be your sister, your brother, it may be your pastor, it may be your coworker, it may be your best friend, it may be your husband, it may be your wife.
Oh, don't do that.
I don't know who it is, but it starts with someone. You've got to be able to take inventory and recognize and identify who am I patterning my thinking after? I was patterning my thinking after my mom. I was patterning my thinking after a few of my professors. When I got to school, I was the first person in my family to go to college. And I'll never forget, I used to take some engineering classes. And when I was in engineering classes, my professors, you know, because I started network marketing, and I had already sold that, I'd already professed, I am not going to be an engineer. I was just getting through that stuff because I knew I was going to be an entrepreneur. Once I went to that meeting and I saw all of those people in there dressed up, and they talking about, I'm a retired pharmacist and retired this and retired that, and I'm like, nobody's ever told me about this. I'm going to do this. And so my professor, he used to always joke and laugh about me being an entrepreneur all the time. Okay? So my professor had a little influence on me because he was having me question whether or not I should go down this path or whether I should be the world's greatest engineer. Okay? But ladies and gentlemen, this is the thing here. I want you to understand something. See, the things that you're thinking, it comes from those people that you've been associating with. I had to learn the art of disassociation or limited association. This is what I had to learn. I had to start with my family as well. Thank you, Craig. I appreciate that. I had to start with some of my family members. I didn't understand this my first 7 years. I thought that I could stay who I was and that the universe was going to allow income and increases to come to me even though I was not willing to change.
It sure sounds like we are characterizing people around us as good or bad. And what is that? Emotional control? I feel like this is similar. Require members to internalize the group's doctrine, change, not name and identity, use loaded language and cliches which constrict knowledge, stop critical thoughts and reduce complexities into platitudinous buzzwords, encourage only good and proper thoughts. Wow. Alter mental states, undermine critical thinking, and even to age regress the member. Interesting. Teaching thought stopping techniques. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. It's just interesting. It is very interesting that let me put my other topper back on. I'm just that's a cult, my guy. Karina, you'll have to post some pictures on your stories. I used to, before my multi-level marketing account, I had a bigger plant help account that was fun to do. And then when we moved from Wisconsin to Texas, a lot of my plants didn't make it, so I have to get some more.
I've now learned the art or learned the principles that govern the building of wealth, and it's very simple. And I don't want to profess that just getting involved, you're going to become an overnight millionaire. No. That doesn't happen like that. Doesn't happen that way. Yeah, you can start making money pretty fast in this industry. The technology today, and you should expect to make money fast. Faster. Okay? Faster. Don't think fast money is bad money. And don't think slow money is always good money.
I would appreciate you not telling me about what is good and bad about money. I I think people can determine that for themselves, and I think there's natural concern about associating and partnering with an opportunity that ticks all the boxes in terms of being ethical and being able to stand up to scrutiny. And I don't really appreciate someone telling me that I'm not thinking about it the right way and that my questions probably are coming from a limited mindset. I think my questions should be answered. I think that people's questions about an opportunity, especially when it involves putting people underneath you in terms of the compensation plan, I think they can get their questions answered. And I don't think there's a time limit on that. And if you are thinking about joining a multi-level marketing company and you're being pressured to make a decision faster. Gosh, would I love that you didn't join it? I don't think they're the best model to join. I think there's too much opportunity to be exploited by your upline. And if you're dead set on joining, take time to get your questions answered. And don't let your questions be brushed off as you don't need to know that, or them not actually answering what you want. You get your questions answered and there's no time limit. If they're putting pressure on you, it's because it's month end or they're trying to make a rank, and that has nothing to do with you. You don't have to own that. You don't have to carry that. You need to be able to advocate for yourself. You do.
Okay? I read a book called Speed Wealth by T. Harv Eker. He says, whatever it is that you're doing, if it takes you longer than 2 to 5 years to earn $1 million a year, you're doing it the wrong way. It changed my entire life because I started reading from other people now, because here I was, here's my thinking. It should take me 7, 8, 9, 10, 15 years so that I can make full-time income. Why? 7 years, never made more than $500 a month, because my thought process, my upline, the people that were my sponsors and my sponsors, all of them were in that, were what I call those average thinkers. I was in an environment where losing was accepted as winning. I'm not putting them down. I'm just speaking the truth today.
I don't know. I mean, being called an average thinker and that their thought processes weren't optimized for them to make money. I wouldn't necessarily take that as like a truth. I mean, that's your own perspective about how you saw them thinking and the results that you saw them getting, and then you associated their thinking with their results, and maybe it has to do with the compensation plan. I mean, there's a thought. I don't know.
To them, it was just, now, here it was. I'm in the company. I'm seeing other people in this company get involved after I had been in 2, 3, 4 years, and they're retiring. I can't even pay my gas bill with my commissions. Something's wrong with that picture. It wasn't them. It wasn't the company. It was me.
No.
Thinking. How did I think? So, ladies and gentlemen, your thought process, you're going to have to change your thought process. You're going to have to alter the way that you think. My goal today in the next few minutes here is just to give you what I call a conscious interrupt. How many of you have ever heard,
a thought-stopping technique? Tell us more.
An object in motion will continue in that same motion unless interrupted by an outside force or object, right? I learned a few things in college, right? Same thing. An object in motion, well, a thought in motion, because a thought is nothing but energy. If you've read...
This is starting to sound like Teal Swan. This is starting to sound like all the stuff that we learned from her talk the other day about the vibrations and the frequencies and all of that. If you haven't watched her earlier videos, I wouldn't recommend you going and watching it, but they're obviously available for people to watch. But this sounds very similar to that.
The law of success. You start reading and hearing, understanding what a thought really is. Napoleon Hill breaks it down. He talks about its ether, and it just continues. Well, a thought in motion will continue in that same motion unless interrupted by an outside force or object. One of the first people that I got introduced to that really changed my way of thinking, that I realized, wow, this is a much bigger industry. Wow, there's a lot of stuff that I thought that I knew that I really don't even know, is one of my best friends in the world, and my best friend in network marketing, and that's Lisa Grossman. I'm telling you, this lady here.
It was Curtis. Lisa's right over there. Oh my gosh. Everybody's connected. Holy crap.
She changed. She probably doesn't remember. I remember we got on the telephone one that she had no idea who I was at the time. And I've got a group of my people on the phone. I'm listening to her and she's talking. And I'm like, this lady knows what she's talking about. And I had no idea, but I knew she knew. Okay? I knew that she knew. This is one of the people I trust.
If you don't know, Lisa Grossman is the upline for Jesse Lee Ward. They're both in Prove It. And Curtis, I think, is Lisa's partner of sorts. And I think Curtis was the one who introduced Holton on stage. Holton Buggs is the CEO and founder of ibüümerang, which is a multi-level marketing company. And I think it started around a little after when he was in 20. I think it came around a little bit after 2014.
I trust, this is the only person in network marketing I trust with my bank account. She's never, ever, ever talked about money with me. Ever. She makes a lot. We've never had a discussion about it. It's always about other people. Always about helping the little person. Back then, you know who I was wanting to help? Me. Me. I need to make me some money. I am the little people. And so I start listening to her. I start reading T. Harv Ekker's book, and then I got introduced to some other books. Now, while I was in that other company for 7 years, I tell people it's my greatest experience because I never talk bad about it because I learned from the best of the best. I learned culture. I learned I learned how to have people where you can't cut them out with a chainsaw. And I was around it for 7 years. Other people look at it and say it's a bad experience. I never made any money. That's where I made my millions. I just collected them over here.
Okay. That's where I made my millions. I just collected them over here. Well, not everyone has the main income to supplement their losing multi-level marketing business. And I say losing in terms of losing money. So you're saying that you had to supplement so that you wouldn't go into debt all the times that you were in multi-level marketing for however many years it was before you started your own multi-level marketing company. Not everyone can do that. Not everyone has the disposable income to fix those losses. Come on, play.
Okay? That's what I did. And so I start to change the way that I think, my thought process. I start to change the way that I think. Why? Because if you start to alter the way that you think, you will start changing the things that you say. I practice disassociation or limited access. I had my family and I told them, I said, listen, I'm sorry, Mom, but I got to put a 5-minute limit time on our.
So ibüümerang is owned by Holton Buggs. This is Holton Buggs. And it was founded in March of 2019. So he was still in his multi-level marketing company for a long time before he officially opened up ibüümerang. So it's very interesting. Very interesting.
Our conversation. Because I knew where it was going to go. I love you, but I cannot talk to you for longer than 5 minutes. Okay? Because I was not going to allow anybody to come between me and my dreams. Not my mom, not my dad, nobody. Nobody.
I will say this. Not everyone has a relationship with a parent or an in-law that is close or healthy or even existent. If you do have a relationship, a closer relationship that's positive with a parent, and even if it's neutral, I will say this. My mother-in-law passed away in 2018, and she was incredible. And I would give any amount of time to be able to have like more time with her and to, I guess, reduce the relationships in your life that he's doing here, to cut them out. To cut them out like that. I think people are much more important than money. I understand what he's saying, and I understand the spirit of what he's saying. I just don't agree with it. I think people are I think people are a lot more important than money, and you're not promised tomorrow with them.
Because I read the dream came from God. So if that's the case, I don't think there's anybody he wanted me to let come between them and what he gave me. I didn't come up with the dream. It was given to me. Same thing as yours. By whoever it is that you believe. It came from somewhere else, a higher calling, whatever it may be. So I wasn't going to let anybody interfere with that. Limited association. I had some of my friends. You know what I had to do? I had to back off a little bit. I had to back off. If your friends right now are telling you, specifically those of you who are new in this industry, and I've got information for all levels in here. For those of you who are brand new, first opportunity. For those of you who've been in 10 years and still haven't made enough to pay your car note. And for those of you in here who are six-figure earners and want to get to 7. And for those of you who are 7 and want to get to 8 figures. I got information for all of you. But for those of you who are brand new, if your friends are not telling you, oh, you think you're somebody now. Who are you think you are talking all that positive stuff? Man, I don't want to hang around you. All you're doing is talking that positive stuff. If that's not happening, you're not about to make any money. I got a philosophy. I observe the masses and I do the opposite. Why? Because everybody doing something, that means that that's an average action. I had to learn how to remove average from my actions, from my vocabulary. Now remember, I'm saying all of this stuff. I'm not better than you. I want you to understand where I started. I started with not even being able to make $500 a month, 7 years. Okay? But I had to practice limited association. I don't say it for applause. I appreciate that, but I don't say it for applause. I say it because I want to give to you.
I don't say it to impress you, but to impress upon you. Everyone says that.
Because I wanted people to give to me so bad. I want to talk about being able to receive as well, and being able to receive information and the level of hunger that you've got to have so that you can really manage your own expectations to determine whether or not what it is that you really want is what you really want. Because some of you say things to impress the person who's sitting next to you, and that's not what you want, and you'll never go out and do what I'm talking about to get it if you're saying what you're saying to impress somebody else. The book start with why. It's very important. Most people, when we talk about let's get to some other stuff. Show me how. How is only 5%.
Oh, come on.
5%. I took everything that I knew, all the strategies.
I have never, let me see if this works. I have never seen a training from a multi-level marketer that was detailed in the how. I see a lot of people saying it's not about the how, it's not about the how, it's not about the how. Sales is a skill. Talking to people is a skill. Closing a sale is a skill. I'm still learning the names, but colorful foliage. It is a skill, and so if people are feeling like they're lacking in the skill part, then why don't you teach them that so that they can get good at a tangible skill, build their confidence, and maybe grow their confidence? Why are we not teaching like sales? I mean, belief only gets you so far. Actual skills and being able to do something, that does get you a lot further. Those are building blocks. Okay, let me see if I can do this again. Let's see. I'm trying to. Okay, yeah. All right.
All of the technique. You can ask somebody. I took all the technique, ladies and gentlemen. When I started my new opportunity, I threw every one of them out of the window. Because I knew technique wasn't what I needed to teach first. Why? I had to identify with it. Limited association, I had to change that. I had to start listening to some different people. And this is what was going on. While those 7 years that I was not making money, I was getting myself prepared. I was so glad, just like I heard Brian McMillan up here. First time I've ever seen him. We've talked for years. Never seen him before until I saw him on stage here. But but we've talked for years, but I heard him say his first 6 companies, you know what, he didn't quit either. That's why he's where he is. That's why he makes the money he makes. He didn't quit. I didn't quit. Those 7 years, you know what I did? I learned.
Okay, let me try this. I've heard over and over and over and over again from big leaders like Holton Buggs, like Jesse Lee Ward, Eric Worre, gosh, people that I was in Mary Kay with, people that I was in Young Living with, my uplines, their uplines saying, just don't quit. You can't fail if you don't quit. What does not quitting involve? It involves ordering your monthly volume to make your quota to have access to your commission check. Does that necessarily mean that you're making money? No. Does that mean that you're positive? Your monthly expenses in terms of what you're spending on your business and what you're bringing in? No, a lot of times it's a loss. And it's an easy thing to say, just don't quit. But it's not financially smart for everyone to continue to put money into a multi-level marketing company with the hope that their experiences are going to match Holton Buggs or Jesse Lee Ward or Eric Worre or God, there's so many. There's so many people. Let's try this. Okay.
I learned the importance of books. I learned the importance of tapes. And I can tell you what I did. People say, well, you must be lucky. You got in first? Oh, you had a group of people to transfer over. That's what it was. Don't think so. As a matter of fact, this is what I did. I didn't want to. Held a conference call. 2 of them are sitting in here right now. Held a conference call with them, and 16 of them, I had 32 frontline, and 16 of them were still active. I held a conference call, told all of them, stay where you are. Please, you're probably better off where you are. Where I am going is going to be the biggest thing I've ever done in my life, and I can't have negativity along with me while I accomplish it. Stay.
Rude.
And guess what?
Rude.
They listened to me. They stayed where they were and didn't follow. Great. Until they start hearing. But limited association. But I learned the art of listening to tapes, and I learned the art of reading books, and I start getting into books, and I'm a slow reader. I don't like to read. I do it anyway, but I'm a very slow reader. I sit there, and I'm one of those ADD. I sit there, and I'm thinking about, you know, who's on my list, and it's 30 minutes later, and I'm still on the same page. And I used to get frustrated because I see all of these speed readers. Oh yeah, I read 3 books this week. And I'm like, can I get 3 chapters this week? But I did read and I listened. And then this is what I did, ladies and gentlemen. When I start reading and I start listening, and I start reading the right books. And then I don't read books today. I read chapters. I'm not telling you to do what I do. I just do what works for me. Everybody don't learn the same. I get a book. I find out what's pertinent to me, what's attractive to me about that particular book, and I master that chapter.
Oh,
I don't read it.
Okay.
I master it. I have not read a lot of books, so I'm not going to stand up here, oh, I've read 3,000 books. Well, give me the name and the title of the last one you read. Tell me what was on chapter 2, 3, 4, and 5. You don't even remember. But you want to be impressive about, oh, I've read that book, I've read this book. You want to be an MLM professor. Professors don't make money. Artists make money. You've got to become an artist in this industry.
Artists don't necessarily make money.
Now, I'm not telling you don't read. I'm just telling you what works for me. I never forget, I got the book, Think and Grow Rich. Here it was, because I used to be the shortcut guy. I want to take the shortcut. I'm going to take the shortcut.
Karina, just on plants real quick, if you don't have a silver satin pothos, it's one of my favorite plants, and they're slightly, what's it called? They look like they have a sheen to them, in the lighter parts of the green, and they're pretty hardy. They grow fast, and they're not super sensitive to watering schedules, so they're kind of ideal if you can find one down here. I really like them.
Why? That's what I had done all my life. I took shortcuts. I was a kid that didn't need to study in school. I could just listen, pay attention. I got it, take the test, but after the test was taken, I had forgotten everything that I had learned. I was a test taker. I did just enough to excel. Just enough, just enough. And how you do anything is how you do everything. And it caught up with me. 7 years, I never made any money. I had to pay my price.
Or not.
You're going to have to pay yours. I don't know what your price is going to be. But you got to figure it out and pay it. And you got to pay 10/10 of the price. Not 9/10. If your system says, hey, you should be doing X, Y, Z, well, I don't like doing that. On the application, it never said, do you like this? The qualifications for top ranks in your company doesn't say, do this if you like it. No, it says, do it. That's what I had to do. And I had to start listening, and this is what I did. I'm sharing with you guys right now where my secret comes from. I would listen to tapes. I can tell you right now, I believe that there was about a 2-year period of time in my life, I don't believe that there was anybody in the world in MLM who was listening to more tapes, information than I was. And I never listened to how-to tapes. I listened to story tapes. I listened to inspirational stories. And I know some of, oh, here he is with the rah-rah. I don't need the rah-rah. Give me the information. 23 years in this industry. With my results, I need the rah-rah. That's why I had you guys stand up again. Because I got to have the rah. I get energized. I went out and bought myself from Radio Shack what's called a pillow speaker. Why? Because my wife, she'd get mad. It got to the point my wife would say, why are you cheating on me with your little girlfriend over there? She was talking about my little iPod, my cassette tape. Because I'm walking around the house with the earphones on. I'm just walking around the house. Why? Because I got to change the way that I'm thinking. I got to get this stuff.
I thought he just said, let me go back over here if I can do this. I thought he just said that he didn't read a lot of books. So he listened to a lot of books. I mean, the concept is the same thing, that he's trying to change the way he thinks, which is one of the bite model things that he's hitting on. And so he has done a lot of like changing his thoughts and thought stopping practices and all that stuff. And I find that very interesting.
I got 7 years of this garbage in my mind. 7 years of what my professor, my mom, my dad, everybody was saying, everybody around me who was broke. I was born in Ponce de Leon Projects, Tampa, Florida is where I was raised. That's what I had up in here. I had to get rid of it. And what I would do is I learned the subconscious mind never sleeps, so I take my pillow speaker from Radio Shack. They still sell them to this day. A little disc speaker like this, it's got about 50 holes in it, and you put it up under the pillow. And you know sound is nothing but airwaves, air vibration. And that vibration would go through the pillow, my head would be on the pillow, I can hear it clear as a bell. Earlene couldn't hear a thing. And every day for 2 years, as soon as I hit the bed, my head hit the bed, I couldn't wait to go to sleep because I couldn't wait to learn. I was going out and I was getting that good feeling of what it took to be a champion. You gotta live how it feels to be a champion before you ever do it.
What is that part? What is that part? Gosh, which one is that? Let's see. Can I do this here? Nope. Trying to figure out how to. Oops. Is it this one? I just think this is very bite model. Yeah, I mean, and again, so my dad growing up, he had a few businesses, and he worked a lot. My mom worked a lot too. They helped each other when my dad would have big cases that we'd have to get ready for trial, we would all go down and help him. And, if you want quality time, it's hard to do that with an entrepreneur. It is hard. There are sacrifices that are made. And Karina, I know that your dad worked a lot too. And that's tough. If you want to spend time with the person you really like, it's super tough. Why is my file doing this to me?
Broke. I was born in Ponce de Leon Projects, Tampa, Florida. It's over again. I still do it to this day. To this day, I still go on eBay right now, and I outbid anybody on tapes from a particular company from the year of 1977 and 1981.
Why?
You won't outbid. I bid $1,000. Nobody even thinks about it anymore. Why? Oh, he bid $1,000. It's made me millions. You think I'm going to play around? Oh, let me just try to outbid him by $1. No. And I pay somebody to take it from tape, transfer it to CD so I can download it on my iPod. Why? Because I know where I get it from. But he said something, and the guy this is what he told me. It changed my life. I'm telling you, I know for a fact there's certain people who've come into my life that's made a major impact. Most of them don't even know me. My first two mentors in this industry, I've never shaken their hands, ever. They have no idea I exist. But I know everything about their entire family. If I walked up to them and tell them all the things that I knew, they think I was stalking them. I have never got close enough to shake their hand. Never, ever, ever. But I was talking, and he told me, this is Jeff's house right here. I said, yeah, I know this guy. I heard about this guy. Yeah, listen. I said, how many people does he have in his group? Now, here's another thing. Here's probably a rumor that worked for me. I don't care if he was even lying. This is what the guy said. I said, how many people does he have in his group? Because I'm thinking, that's what my thinking was at that time. You got to have enough people in your group. He says, well, Jeff doesn't even know how many people he's got in his group. But he's got about 300,000 to 500,000 customers on AutoShip, and that's why he makes $300,000 to $400,000 a month. Hello, that's all I need to hear. All I needed to hear. 300,000 to 400,000 customers on AutoShip. See, because I had never, in the last 10 or 15, 20 years, heard or been exposed to anybody talking about recruiting from the company that he was a part of. And he's making that. Oh, okay. See, that was one of those moments where I said, just impact. A thought in motion continues in the same motion unless interrupted by an outside force and object. My thought process now had been deterred. And I start listening and reading more books and reading more tapes, and listening to more tapes and reading. Why? Because I had to change my thinking. And once you change your thinking, the domino effect from your thinking is that you'll now change the things that you start saying. I can listen to somebody for 5 minutes and I can tell whether or not you will be a long-term six-figure earner. Anybody can do it for a year or two. Anybody.
So you... You just know by listening to them? How do you know? I've got questions. Now, does that make sense if someone who has been successful for an extended period of time? Now, he says that he wasn't doing well for the first 7 years in his industry, and he's been in for a while now, so he's supposedly doing well. I read online that I think his net worth is around $70 million, so that's a lot of money. I think that it feels bold to say that you can just listen to someone and know if they're going to be successful long term. Maybe that is just naive of me because I'm not rich enough to be able to understand where he's coming from. I think I agree with you, Karina. I call BS too.
Simple. Oh, I made 6 figures. Did you? How long are you going to keep it? How long is it going to stay? I can get enough people to jump in any opportunity, make 100 grand. How long is it going to stay? See, when I heard his story, he had been doing it for a while. There were people making more money than him, but his long term. Met him one time. He still probably don't even know who I am. Met him, shook his hand in Dallas, Texas, told him thank you for what he had no idea what I was talking about. Thank you for doing what you've done. You have no idea how you've impacted my life. But the domino effect is what you think will determine what you say, and you will start speaking like a winner. I had to learn the difference between winning speaking and speaking from a position of lack. I had to have an abundance mentality and start thinking and start saying the things that I wanted versus saying the things that I believe.
I, disagree with me or agree with me. You can tell me in the comments. I mean, there's a certain amount of respect I try to maintain on my channel about how we speak to one another. I personally do not subscribe to the idea of attraction marketing, of manifestation, of thinking good things into existence, because I cannot resolve the idea that if you believe that you're either attracting everything that you want into your life, what about all the bad stuff that happens to people that they did not ask for? And if the law works for good stuff, it has to behave the same way for the bad stuff. And I don't agree with that. I don't agree that people choose the stuff that happens to them in their life. I don't. I cannot get behind that kind of thinking, because I think that it actually harms actual victims of horrible things that have happened to them. I think that it sure sounds good to them when they're trying to convince people to join their team, and when they're trying to explain how they've become so successful, but it doesn't play out. It doesn't hold up to scrutiny, in my opinion.
Or saying the things that I had. Coming to the meeting this week? Well, I'm going to try. No, you're not going to win this year. I can tell right now.
Oh, rude. I will say this. I grew up, I was training to play tennis, and I was part of an off-campus PE program. So I got out of school early to go train. I was playing 25 to 35 hours a week of tennis. I was homeschooled in high school. I was going to the local community college for classes because I was training full time. And my coach, when I first started playing, nobody really necessarily gave me the time of day, which is fine. And when I got better, he told me, when I'd been training with him for a long time at that point, he said, when you first started training with me, I thought that you would never have amounted to anything. And the only reason that I decided to take you on as a student was because my wife said she saw something in you. And maybe that's a bit of rude judgment on my part, but I don't think that anybody can see anything in anyone. I don't, because there's people in every situation that constantly overcome challenges, that constantly overcome people's expectations or beliefs that they have about their potential and their skill set. And a lot of the times people are able to overcome those low expectations because they have good teachers in their life, or they're willing to study more, or they're willing to work harder. And his position, that he can tell if someone's going to be good at something or not, he might believe that. I don't believe that anybody can do that. And it's very painful to speak that over someone's life, who may be an impressionable kid and who actually might believe that they aren't going to amount to anything. So this is just making me upset listening to him.
Man, why don't people show up for my meetings when I invite? Nope, you aren't there yet. Well, I invited 10, but only 8 showed up. You have no idea how you're succeeding, but you're not going to make it. Not right now. Not forever, just not right now.
When you refuse to teach people the building blocks of sales and actually how to get a bigger group of people in to pitch something to them, you're not going to have this confusion from your salespeople like he is expressing here. They either have it or they don't. Well, why aren't you a better teacher and talk to them about numbers, about percentages, about statistics, and give them a clear idea about what that looks like and let them participate or not participate? I'm not promoting multi-level marketing. I'm upset that there's an industry where they're so filled with speakers and and hype people to breathe motivation into whoever they're speaking in front of. And where's the actual skills being taught? Where's the sales technique being taught? Where is the processes being implemented? I've got questions and nobody's answering them. No one in the multi-level marketing industry is answering them. They're probably going to chalk up my issues with Mr. Buggs about just being a hater. And I don't hate him. I don't hate anybody in multi-level marketing. I have an issue with the comp plan. I have an issue with people losing money and then being gaslit that they just didn't participate the right way. I have an issue with people being scoffed at that they're not going to be the right type of winner because they don't understand what it looks like to pitch your idea in front of enough people. And he's saying, oh, just because they don't understand or just because they're inexperienced, that they're not going to win. You're the teacher. You're the leader. What does that say about you and how you're impacting the group of people under you, the salespeople underneath you?
Oh, well, you know what? Yeah, you know what? That company over there, our company is better, and this is why you should join my, because that company, I can tell you all the negative things about that company. You're not going to win long term. Ever. Because you're going to attract people who are just like you. You cannot win. That's one philosophy I have that I teach in our culture. Never, ever, never, ever, ever, ever say another negative thing about another company or another distributor.
Well, a lot of times that actually breaks the contract that the independent distributor signed with the company when you disparage other companies. A lot of times that's written into the contracts that you cannot do that. Not only you can't do that about the company that you are contracted with, but you shouldn't be doing it to other companies either. It's not written in every contract, but it is actually written in a lot of contracts. So while he's saying that that's a best practice, yeah, do I like the idea that I'm not going to build up my own product by dissing someone else's product? Sure. But a lot of companies say not to do that, and nobody reads the contract, so they don't know anyways.
I don't care what they've done. I don't care what's happened. I see some people, and it turns my stomach when a company's having issues, and they get excited, and they start going after that company's distributor. It turns my stomach. That's the reflection that you want our industry to have? Oh, they're weak, so you're going to go and attack? That's what you're going to do? No. I promise you guys, it doesn't come that way. I've tried that before. I'm not here to pot calling the kettle black. I'm telling you the dumb, stupid things that I used to do until I learned. I wanted See, there's a difference between short-term pleasure and long-term happiness. I wanted happiness. I've had short-term pleasure. I've gotten involved in companies, and my first time ever making money in this industry, 90 days after I was in one company, I was at 20 grand a week. Wow, right? Lasted for 4 months. There's no wow now, is it? No. I wanted to do this one time. I wanted the dream that this industry offers. So you can't go out there talking bad about.
Who is the industry? It's made up of independent contractors sharing things that they think will put their company or their proposition in the best light to recruit the most people or sell the most product. There's no organization that oversees the industry. I mean, there's the DSA, and they protect multi-level marketing companies. They say they protect the consumer and they hold the people to a higher standard, but that's not the case. There's just a bunch of multi-level marketing companies and a bunch of independent contractors made up, and the general feeling that you get is just like what people say and what they can get away with. So he's sharing his own experience about what he thinks the industry has said, but again, there's no official group.
Everybody else and stuff like that, and oh, look at him, this is what he did, and this is what. And no, you be strong enough for who you are. I'm telling you this, guys, because it's up to you guys in this room to campaign this, and if you want to, you can actually change the image of our industry if you wanted to. You can do it. I'm telling you.
That's what I think Eric Worre tries to do. I think that he wants to change the face of the network marketing industry, and it seems like Holton Buggs was on board in 2014 to do that.
I'm doing all right. Yeah. That used to be me. Why? Because that's who I was around. Those were influential people in my life, so I did what they did. Right? Holton, you going to be at the meeting? Absolutely. I've already bought my ticket. I became an affirmative person. I start speaking the things that I want to speak, and then I bought another book. It's called What to Say When You Talk to Yourself, Dr. Shad Hemstetler. I bought the book. I downloaded the tape. I studied it. Didn't read the whole book. Because it would take me probably 4 years. I didn't have that type of time. So I got it, and I got what I needed to do, and I start writing my affirmations. I start writing them in first person, present tense, with emotion, and I start telling myself how much a winner I was. And I never forget, I used to be in my little 1993 Eagle Talon. It was two-tone, green and rust, real rust. Now, here I was in my Eagle Talon, and I'm listening to Dr. Shad Hemstetler, and what I had done is I recorded me talking to me. It's weird at first. I'm telling myself a pack of lies. I'm telling myself I'm awesome. I'm telling myself I'm $1 million a month earner. I'm telling myself all of these stuff. That was a bunch of pack of lies. And I'm sitting there at the car, and I'll never forget, here I am. I'm in this car. People thought I was crazy because I'm sitting there, and I'm just talking with emotion. I'm just talking, and I'm just talking. And there was no cell phones to my ear, no earpiece. I'm just talking. And they look at me. But I didn't care. I was working on me. I was going to do it. I observed the masses and did the opposite. Nobody else, everybody else, when they were at the red light, they're jamming their favorite radio station or their favorite CD. And they're making sure that they create another source of wealth for whoever it is that they're listening to. They're contributing to them. I said, no. I'm going to contribute to mine. I know I'm going to look crazy. I know I'm going to look stupid to some people. But I want to be rich. I didn't know what rich meant back then, but I was just going to be it.
I mean, he's making money for the person who sold him the book. He's contributing to the person who sold him the book. So he's saying, you've already financially contributed when you bought the CD. If you like music, if you buy the CD, or if you buy the song, on a streaming platform. You've already contributed. So I'm guessing he's saying, because he believes in affirmations and attraction marketing and manifestation and all that other stuff I don't agree with, that it continues to add if you think or speak whatever that is into the universe. Oh gosh. So, oh my gosh. I don't. Okay.
That's what I was doing. And I would say it over again, because what happens is, just remember, guys, the domino effect. Whoever it is that you associate with will determine what you think. Whatever it is that you think will determine what you start to say. And I start speaking like a winner, and I start putting affirmations together. And you know what? Right now,
Is this what Jessie Lee Ward did when she said that she was the #1 network marketer in the world? Was that an affirmation that she just posted on her profile? Because when I look at Business for Home, and I know that is not constantly updated, it only updates if you submit your like tax returns and stuff like that. And obviously she makes a lot more money now than $200,000 a month. On her stories, it seemed like she was claiming to make over $6 million a year. So there's other network marketers who are making a lot more money than that. So maybe she makes a lot more than that. I don't know. But it seems like there should be affirmations should be personal, because when you make them public, people think what you're saying is the truth. I think that is walking the line between building belief in yourself and lying to other people. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe she is. Who knows? I certainly don't.
I've sponsored maybe 212 people. The last 100, probably 130 of them called me. You say, oh, I know why, because you're so successful. No, this is before I started making this money. This has been happening my last 8 years. They've been calling me. You know why? I said that they would.
Oh my
My affirmation was, sharp, ambitious people are always calling me to personally sponsor them into my network marketing business. I would say it over 3,000 to 4,000 times a day. Most of you won't do that.
I mean, I think I'm gonna manifest it myself, in terms of I'm gonna go to the store tomorrow and get some. I'm gonna drive there myself and buy it with my money I make from my 9 to 5 job.
Most of you will get tired. Most of you will stop believing the lie. It was a bunch of lies I told myself because they weren't true. But how many of you know people who lie so much that they start believing them? Right? If it works for them, make it work for you.
Oh, jeez.
They lie about stuff that's senseless. I lied about stuff that was going to take me into the direction that I wanted to go. Why?
So is it lying or is it manifestation? Is it lying or is it manifestation? Are they the same thing? Because it seems like he just said that he lied his way in a direction that he wanted to go. Sorry, I keep getting too close to the microphone. I'm trying to be better. Oh, geez, come on.
Your distributor doesn't even show up, right? No show is when your distributor's there and no guests. Me show is when you are the only one who shows up, right? I drove those miles, and I'll never forget, guys, I go to meetings like this, and here I was driving 23 hours, 18 of us in a 12-passenger minivan. And all 18 of us stayed in the same hotel room, but because there was no such thing as buying an airline ticket when you're making $40 to $75 a month.
Dang.
And I sleep outside so I can be in the front row. See, you guys right here, this is where I want to be. I didn't want to be cool. I didn't want to be in the back so I can talk to any. Let me share something with you. When I was at events like this, still to this day, I'm going to lose a friendship with you if you try to talk to me. Because these people here make what you want to make, and you'll let somebody else who's got your same income, live in your same neighborhood, talk you out of living in their neighborhood. And you sit there and oh yeah, I know, I looked at here, he's got ring around the collar, I saw it. No, I was gonna be in the front. I was gonna be as close to the front as I could get. We had this little system that we'd have. The guys, we'd sleep outside. We'd take our little coolers. We'd have our little sleeping bags. We'd sleep out front. Why? If you do it for a Def Leppard concert or a Jay-Z concert, why won't you do it for your freedom? Why wouldn't you do it to live like nobody else that you know can live? You go to concerts, you go to sporting arenas, and I can tell you right now, those of you who love hockey, your hockey team wins the whatever it is called. Is it the Grey Cup? Whatever cup it is.
The Stanley Cup?
You stand up, you paint your face, you go out there and when it's snowing and you take your shirt off and put S's on your chest, you and your buddies, you do all of that stuff for somebody else, the 12 men that are on the field, or however many on the field, for them to make millions, and then you come in network marketing and you want to be a professional. I'm not going to shout too loud. Because he might just think I'm excited. I observed the masters and I did the opposite. That used to be me. I cared so much about what other people said until I started looking at my bank account. Mm-hmm. And they didn't care about my bank account. But you got to start changing what you say. You got to start saying the things that you want. You got to start speaking it in advance. Ladies and gentlemen, those who know me, you ask Lisa, you ask Eric, I live in the future. I have trained myself so well. Right now, it's boring. This is boring. Today, not this event. The present is boring to me. I never live in the present anymore. It took me years to do it. I always live in the future. You can do the same thing. Remember, $500 a month.
I would rather be
7
present.
years. Not more than 50 people in 7 years of my group.
I would rather be present.
Change my thought process. Change the people I was around. It dominoed effect and changed my thought. Change my thought process. I start saying some different things. I know I've got to be wrapping it up. They didn't have a time thing on me. I'll probably well over. No, you're not. Okay. All right. No problem. Now, but I want to be respectful. I want to be respectful for Eric. Okay. Wow. So I changed that stuff, and I start seeing small differences out of my income. It didn't change.
Dang.
Income is not a measure of success. It's not. Or it's not the ultimate measure of success. It is one of those little check marks. You gotta be making some money now. I ain't getting this for friends. I'm good on friends. Okay? I need to make some money. You need to make some money too. And don't be embarrassed about wanting to make money. I
don't think anyone is embarrassed about wanting to make money. I think there's an issue by not addressing the amount of people losing money in network marketing and pretending that those numbers of people leaving the profession or ending their constant purchasing of volume every month, chalking that up to not running the business the right way, not having enough passion, not having enough perseverance. And instead of saying, hey, there's some pretty big problems with the compensation model. There's some pretty big problems with independent contractors being able to buy their own volume towards their rank. There is a pretty big problem with being able to earn commission off of a downline purchasing volume from the company that puts them towards their own rank instead of saying, we only earn commission off of products that are sold to customers. And I only earn commission off of my downline when they themselves sell products to customers. I'm not saying that having a team is bad. I'm not saying that leading a team is bad. I'm saying that being able to personally purchase your way to your rank, not all the way, but you can personally buy enough of a chunk of product yourself in most multi-level marketing companies. that it becomes problematic, because when you get into that stressful situation at month end, it's very tempting to buy that $500 or that 200 PV or that however much it is yourself, when you didn't have customers buy it, when your team wasn't able to buy it. And even then, your team shouldn't be able to buy volume towards it. And then choosing that little checkout box at the end, when you get it, and saying, yeah, I'm going to use at least 70% of this product, or I'm going to sell the product. Are you selling the product? I don't think you should have to buy your volume towards your rank. I don't.
Y'all say I can be real. It really just turns me some. Why'd you get in? I just want to help people.
In some companies, you can will your line to your offspring. Mary Kay, you can do that. And in some other companies, you can do that. That is actually written into the independent consultant contract when you get to a certain rank. So in Mary Kay, getting to national sales director, you can will your line to your offspring, or you can will it to another national sales director, or just someone that you want in that position.
Hold on, because I got a lot of helpers out here who really want to help people. And I'm not putting them down, but I just want to help people. Well, when's the last time you shared your product? Well, and you want to help people? How'd you get in? Well, I got a foundation that I want to support. How many people have you called on your list? Well, most of them, I don't think that they will want to do this.
Why not?
You got a foundation you want to support? Okay.
Why would they not want to do that? You got to change that.
Stop allowing people to make you feel guilty about wanting to get rich. Trust me, I've been on both sides. I highly recommend the rich side. It comes highly recommended.
Last week when we were listening to Jessie Lee Ward's podcast, she was saying, I'd much rather be sad in a my Range Rover, instead of being sad in a tent or something like that, like living outside or being homeless. Like that, those are the two options. Those are the two extremes, that she would much rather be sad, rich. And he's saying the same thing. I just think that it matters. The people that are getting you to that position of wealth.
I'm just letting you know, all right? I'm just telling you, it's okay, all right? But you got to change that stuff. You've got to become a walking, talking promotion machine to you. I was the Don King for Holton Buggs. I promoted me so, I was so awesome to me in my mind, I never told anybody else how awesome I was. Because they don't believe you anyway. I still to this day don't.
Well, you kind of do. You kind of do.
To me, I got a few friends that I love getting back around. We call ourselves the Wolf Pack. It's 5 of us. These are my high school buddies. They never went out, made a lot of money. It was negative to me or whatever, but we get together maybe 2 times a year, limited association, 2 times a year, okay?
Oh, rude.
You know why I love getting around them?
This is rude. In my opinion, it's my opinion. Would your friends be excited that you were talking about them this way on a stage in front of a lot of people? You're trashing them for your own benefit. And yeah, is he a good communicator? Sure. Is he harming relationships in his life to promote himself in front of other people? It sure sounds like it. He did the same thing to his mom for his storytelling purposes. He's doing the same thing to his friends. And his friends probably think that he likes hanging around them for them. And here we have him qualifying that, oh, don't worry, I only hang around them 2 times a year, so they're not having that much influence on my life, because they're, as he says, he's describing them as maybe what he thinks are I'm not going to say losers. What's the right word? Someone who would have a negative impact on his life because they're not financially playing in at the same level that he is. You know, I'm an emotional person. I get it. I think that would be a little disappointing if his friends heard him say what he's saying right now. Does that matter? It might matter to his friends.
Because I'm not Mr. Buggs to them. I'm Mr. Buggs to most people in my group, and I am, the MLM guru to a lot of folk. Yep. That's not who I am. I'm me. That's just who I am. And you've got to figure out who it is who do you want to be? See, when you get free, that's when you can become who you want to become. I never was me until I got free.
Okay, here's another thing that we were looking at earlier when they were saying, is it thought control? Change. Use loaded language and cliches which constrict knowledge. Stop critical thoughts and reduce complexities into platitudinous buzzwords. I think that's what he's doing here. He's using those same like good sound bites and it's playing into this thought control that he's presenting on the stage. And it sounds like something that he utilizes in his daily life. And he thinks that it's worth it because he's made a lot of money. I mean, that's what I'm getting from this. And I have a bias, for sure. I certainly have a bias.
When somebody else was signing my paycheck, I couldn't do what I want to do. I couldn't wake up the time I want to wake up. I couldn't go to bed when I want to go to bed. Couldn't vacate when I want to vacate. By the way, rich people don't take vacations.
Yes, they do.
They just live their life in a different part of the world when they choose to.
Okay.
Because what are you vacating from? We ain't vacating from nothing, right?
That's not.
Some people, it gets on them when I say rich and stuff like that. I speak a lot so I can really get under some people's skin. Why? Because that's going to provoke you to start thinking. But rich to me is not about money. You know, my wife.
That is one way to get people to think differently. I think some people use that in this genre when they're talking to people in multi-level marketing company. And I'm a very small creator. I haven't even really made a dent in terms of the impact I want to make or the content that I want to create for people. It seems, and this is my own experience, it seems like it's more valuable to be able to come to those thoughts about your business, about how you want to conduct yourself, how you want to treat people, logically by yourself instead of being afraid that you're going to be associated with a group that kind of has a negative stigma to it. And sure, do I want to point out the potentially cult-like parts of the things that are being used to control thoughts and control emotions and control behavior and control information? Yeah. And it certainly might be a slower process. I do find it valuable to have a conversation and maybe where people are willing to stay longer to hear me out. And that's not going to be the most effective. Certainly, I know that there's lots of bigger creators who definitely have a more impactful presentation. But that's just what I want to do right now. And maybe I'll change. Maybe I'll change in the future. I'm trying to look up what vacation means. An extended period of leisure and recreation, especially one spent away from home or in traveling. Literally, that's what it means. Literally, that's what it means. What are you saying? Like, just spent time spent away from home. That doesn't mean you can't work either. I don't know. Play. Jeez. Oh my
She's
God.
never seen our back office, ever. Ever. She has no idea how much money we make. She just knows how much taxes we pay. $4.5 million in taxes last year.
Okay, hold on. How much do you make if you paid 4.5 million in taxes? Can I reverse this? Hmm. 37. Oh, geez. How would I find this? Okay, accept all cookies. Tax rate. He's making a lot of money to pay $4.5 million in taxes. And why is everyone inadvertently telling us how much they're making every year? I thought you couldn't do that without also providing lots of other conditions that are required by the FTC. Okay, I'll just keep playing this while I try to find out how much he's making.
But hold on, guess what? I set a goal that I was going to one day pay $1 million a year in taxes. I spoke it. I was talking it. I was talking about it all the time. I sold myself on everything that I'm doing today because I started to learn how to speak, what to say to myself. I was the most important person that I was going to be talking to. 70% of the conversations that you've ever had in your life is between you and you. So guess what? If you're not getting your results, you talked yourself out of it.
No, you did not.
If I can talk myself out of it, I can talk myself into it. That's all I did.
If I can talk myself out of it, I can talk myself into it. He's saying this, and what are people going to think when they listen to this in this setting where he is being promoted on a stage, he's being highlighted, he's being praised by the person who's putting on the event, Eric Worre, and he's being celebrated and applauded, and people are listening to this. And is it possible they're going to think that they too can think their way into success when is that the reason that he is successful? Correlation, I think it's like correlation does not mean causation. Like he didn't become successful because he thought his way to success. He became successful because he recruited a lot of people, because he potentially sold a lot of product, and he participated in his compensation plan. And I'm assuming that as he grew his wealth in network marketing, that he probably invested in other things as well. So I do have a big issue with the manifestation conversation.
I don't have a fancy system, and I don't know much about the internet. And I think it's great, all the different methods, because people who've spoken up here, they've done it. I just don't know how to do it. I can barely check an email. My biggest secret? How many of y'all know what my biggest secret is? I'm going to tell you what my biggest secret is. What my secret system. You cannot out-friend me. See, nobody's writing that down because, but if I tell you 4 steps to recruiting, you write it all down. You can't out-friend me. I don't have a database of people. Never have. I've never had a listing of the people in my organization, ever. Don't need it. I never plan on calling them. But you see, these 2 people right here, nobody's ever been a friend to them like I have, ever. Ever. I have a saying in my business, you want to build a diamond ship, better build a friendship.
Oh, no.
You're not going to out-friend me. See, somebody else can get you on Facebook and do all of this stuff and get you to jump over. But they cannot see, you can't out-friend. They can do that. Somebody else can do a better Facebook message or better system and get you to, because that one looks better. But I'm going to make sure that now. I'm not saying that everybody that I'm a friend to understands how to be a friend to me.
Oh.
But them being a friend to me has nothing to do with my responsibility of being a friend to them.
What does that mean, being a friend to them? Is he looking for a recruit? Like, what does that mean? He's saying that you're not going to out-friend me. What are the friends for? Are they to recruit onto your team? He's very charismatic. He's a very good communicator. He's entertaining. He's actually funny. He's has a pretty you can track what he's saying. He keeps you interested. I can see how he could make friends pretty easily, but to what end? To what end are they for? Are they a warm market? Are they a warm-up market for his team? I've got questions.
See, I know that's not that hypey stuff that you expected. It's my secret sauce. It's not a skill set. It's not a technique. I don't use it as a technique. It's real. It's the real deal.
Oh, so he doesn't use it as a technique. He's just naturally good at it, and then he gets to benefit from being naturally good at something.
I'm going to make sure that if it ever comes to a decision of who gave the most, it's always going to be me who gave the most.
Is that a control thing? Like, why does it matter who gives the most in the relationship? And I will say this, you constantly giving stuff and feeling like it's not a mutually beneficial relationship. You have to decide that for yourself, for sure. But what's the point of winning that I've given more in the relationship? I thought a friendship was kind of mutual. Kind of both give something in a friendship. Or that's how I thought it was supposed to be. I thought it was supposed to be like that.
I'm always going to tell them the truth even if they don't like it. I'm always going to be there and just do what I know I should do regardless of what they've done to me. Got two guys right here talked about me like a dog when I joined my current company. There were two on my call who stayed. When I remember I told everybody stay, those two stayed. He ain't gonna do it. I can't believe it. Now, before I was a hero. Now that I've chosen something else, he ain't gonna do it. It's gonna crash. It's gonna burn. It's whatever it was. I knew all the things that they were saying. Had nothing to do with me. As soon as my phone rang, he called me up. He says, "Hey, man, we need to talk. Let's talk." And I've been a friend to him ever since.
Yeah, but you just trashed him on the stage.
In that company I never made any money in. I got one of my best friends in this bit. He was making about $500 a month when he joined my company. Right? $500 a month. And he's doing pretty well now. Okay.
Income claim?
I know for a fact you can write him a check for $20 million. No, let's just say 100. Because he makes $20 million every 4 years. So let's say 100. He ain't gonna budge. I know it for a fact. You know why? I never wanted his CV. I never wanted his volume. I never wanted his people. I just wanted to be friends with him and his wife. Let me ask you a question. Do you even know the names of the kids of your front line?
Jesse Lee Ward has specifically talked about this on her stories, that she knows the people on her team, that she knows their kids, that she knows what they're interested in, what they like. So when they rank up, she can speak to that. It's that same thing. Like, this seems very similar to what she has trained on. And I only say this because he's speaking on Eric Worre's stage. He's he at the time at least was one of the big, like, I don't know, he was able to call Eric up and just get on the stage to speak. So that seems pretty meaningful. That seems pretty impactful. And This guy also knows Lisa Grossman, and Lisa is Jesse Lee Ward's upline. So I'm talking about this because of the connections. I'm talking about this because this talk was done in 2014, and it's uncanny. It seems like it is uncanny, the similarities in some of the things that he's saying and some of the things that she's said in her stories and in some of her lives.
You know their ID number and how to get into their back office to check their volume. I'm telling you right now how to build a dynasty. I'm telling you right now how to keep something strong. Hey, come on over here. Let me introduce you to my downline. I hope I'm not stepping on toes, but don't say that. Who wants to be the downline?
Nobody.
Now, I know you don't mean any harm. You just say it because that's part of the nomenclature of network marketing, but they're people. They got feelings. Hey, let me introduce you to part of my success team. How do you think he or she feels now? Different. I'm telling you, that's the difference. Learn to be a good listener. I talked about talking and saying and stuff like this, and I'm about to wrap it up. But learn to be a good listener as well. Now, when I say listener, I don't listen to garbage. You cannot, I'm very strong in my beliefs. People know you can't come, when you come, you got to come correct. Be a good listener. Most of you practice what you're going to say to a person.
Bye, Karina.
And that's why you don't even remember their
Hope you have
names
a
when
good
you
night.
shake their hand.
Tuck all your
Because you're thinking about your
bed.
pitch.
Good vibes to you.
People don't want to be pitched. They're tired of being pitched. People want authenticity. They want somebody who's real.
Camera. Sorry.
They want to know when the chips really get down that you're going to be there. That's what they really want. That's what they really want. I get networkers, hey, listen, what kind of deal you going to give me? Ain't nobody going to be a friend to you like I've ever been. Like, hold on for a second. I'm not talking about that kind of stuff, Holton. Well, that's the deal, right? That's the deal you want? Well, I mean, what other deal you want? That's the deal that I'm going to make with you. I'm going to be there. I'm going to do what I say I'm going to do. I'm telling you guys, it's a small thing. It's not these great promotional things that make people want to stay and be around you. You've got to learn how to be a friend to people. A true friend, not a friend for the volume. A true friend. I've got people who left my company before. You know what I do? I never talk bad about them. Because that's not a friend, just because.
Well, I mean, that's pretty different than what we've seen from other people. I've seen people leave their companies and they get trashed. When I was in Mary Kay and my former upline left the company while I was traveling to convention in Dallas, and she did not get the best the send off from her upline because we all got sucked up into her upline, and it was pretty hard to come to terms with those feelings about her leaving when we were supposed to be at this event celebrating her getting to director. It was hard, and then to hear the negative things that were said about her. Not everyone has that same standard of care to not trash people who leave.
Because now they don't take your path. Now they're not your friend. Oh, they were a convenience friend. As long as they're making money for you, they're your friend. But when they stop making money for you, they're your enemy. No, that's not a good philosophy.
Good. I'm glad he said that. And I know that's not a popular take on my channel when I say like, hey, that sounds like a good part of the sales pitch, or that's I like what he said there. I like what she said here, or I like what they said here. I appreciate that he said that. And I don't agree necessarily that you have to be friends with people to be in business, though. I think there's a certain standard that you should have when you treat people who decide to join you in a business, and trashing the people who have given time and energy to your endeavor or to your multi-level marketing company. It doesn't seem like a good practice in general, but to mix it up and say they're actually friends, I don't know how I feel about that, but I mean, I can appreciate part of what he said here.
Just because you don't take my road don't mean that you got lost. I always tell them, hey, listen, keep me up to date on your success. Hopefully you do extremely well.
I like that he said that. I do.
Yeah. It's the difference maker. But see, this is why, as Curtis mentioned to you, I started with non-networkers when I built my current company. Before, I was a networker guy. I started with people who don't understand the bad culture that I used to promote. I started with people with a blank canvas, and I taught them what we know. I saw another one of my guys over there, first-time networker. I'm not going to call his name. First-time networker. He used to be an engineer too. He's making $170-something thousand a month. 20 months ago, he was at 20 grand a month. First-time networker. He only knows the way I teach it now. So anybody else come with something different, it doesn't faze him because he's learned. He's so locked into his upline. They're so strongly. This is, I'm telling you guys, this, if you want to make the real, this is what it is. Here.
Sure does sound manipulative.
That's the truth.
I can't appreciate him saying that he has a good plan and how he teaches his people to sell. I wish he would have said that instead of he's saying, look how tied they are into their upline. I would rather not have any emotional ties to my upline or to my boss or other than there's an agreement in the work I do for them. There's an agreement for the work that I do and the time spent that I get financially compensated, that I'm a person of my word, that when I say I'm going to deliver something, I do, and that they say when they're going to deliver something, they do too. And I think you could have a little more than that, but talking about being integrated like he's doing with his fingers here, I don't know.
I spent too many years messing organizations up. I know. So don't think, oh, he's built it because he got lucky. He was the first one. There were 6,000 people in my current company before I joined. I wasn't first. I developed a culture. Okay? I developed a culture. So learn what to say. Learn how to listen. When you develop what you say, your speech and the things that you say will domino effect into what you believe. It doesn't take faith to build network marketing any longer. It may take faith to build in your company if nobody's ever done it. How many of you know the definition of faith? I've heard many different definitions. The substance of things hoped for, evidence of things not seen, right? The belief that what I cannot see will happen. Those are definitions of faith. How many of you have ever seen $1 million earner in network marketing? Well, you have evidence, so you don't no longer need faith. Whoever did it first needed faith. All you need is belief. You don't need faith anymore. You just need belief. You got to believe that you can do it. And you start working on your belief. How do you work on your belief? All the things that I just said. The people you're around will determine the things that you think. The things that you think will determine the things that you say. The things that you say will determine what it is that you believe. See, I lied to myself so much about how much money I was going to make that I actually ended up believing it.
No.
I told Eric before, I said, listen, I don't need $1 million a month to live. I don't need that. In terms, well, put it this way, I need it. I don't need $1 million a month for my necessities. It's a whole different training when I talk about needs versus necessities, completely different. But I spoke it. I did it as a challenge. I was 35 years of age, and I said by the time I turned 40 on my 40th birthday, I will make $1 million a month. I will do it. Why? Because it needs to be done.
This is in 2014.
I was listening to another tape by another gentleman who started talking about how to make quantum leaps in your network marketing business. I listened to it probably about 4,000 times again. Over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. Over and over. I listened to it over and over. And he started talking about all of this stuff. And he says, you know what, if you do this, not only will you can be a six-figure monthly earner, you can be a six-figure weekly earner. When he said that, I almost cried. I was like, weekly? Who can make 6 figures a week in this industry? But I start saying it. I listen to what he start talking, and I start saying it. I start saying it. I start saying it. I was saying it, and at the time, my income at one company at that time was between $70,000 to $82,000 a month. Stuff happened in that company, and now that company had some challenges, went out of business, and here I am. I'm at another company. My income now is all the way up to $2,000 a month. Me, the Holton Buggs. $2,000 a month. Yep, this is after I had already become $1 million earner. I'm at my lowest low income wise. My team is hurting and my team is suffering. And I went into almost depression because it wasn't me. I had enough money put away. I wasn't worried. But my team, I'm watching foreclosure and repossession and it came to me. I got to make $1 million a month. Because I know if I do it, what the other people will be making when I do it. And I set the goal, and I put the goal down, and I start speaking it over and 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 over. And I start thinking about it, saying it over and over and over and over again. I'm at $2,000 a month. I'm 35 years of age. I'm talking about $1 million a month. Quantum leap.
He just said that he was making a specific amount of money per month. Then he was watching his downline not win. And then he said, well, look what they will have to be making when I make $1 million a month. Oh, man.
At that time, I wasn't listening to that tape, but the tape was already in there, burnt in there. It's in there already. And I'm listening, and I'm listening, and I'm listening. $35 years of age. My birthday is September 26th. My goal was to hit it by September. September come. Didn't hit it. Hit 975. Hold on. I'm not saying if, no, listen. I'm just telling, get the principle. Forget about the money. I'm only talking about the money so that you understand what I'm talking about. Honestly, I don't even care about the money anymore.
Oh my gosh, okay.
I don't. I did before, okay? I don't anymore.
You have
so September come, I missed it.
Don't care about the money.
November came, I hit it. Then I went back and looked at the exact month that I set the goal. It was November in the first place. I hit it exactly when I said I was going to do it. Exactly when I said I was going to do it. I told Eric one of my other goals, because I set a goal 2010. This is what I set a goal for, and I'm wrapping this up here. This is what I set the goal. I said, listen, I never forget. I started 2011. I listened to somebody. I listened to Jay-Z do an interview. I forgot the guy. It's the Screen Editors Guild or something like that. When the guy sits up and it's nothing but black, and they got the actors out there. Is that what it is? Actor Studio. Did you see the Jay-Z portion? I saw Jay-Z up there, and when I look at anything, I look for the lesson. And I heard Jay-Z say one thing, that he wanted to make something, turn the ordinary into extraordinary. I didn't need to see no more. I watched it for an hour and a half. I didn't need to see no more. That became my theme. 2010 is when I saw it. 2011, I'm doing a conference call. I'm telling everybody, get prepared. We're going to make the ordinary extraordinary. We're going to make the unusual usual. We're going to make what's abnormal normal. We're going to think bigger than we ever have. Yeah, we've done great so far. We've done some good things, but we are going to go out there and make this happen. We're going to set the new level for what's normal. It needs to be that way. I never forget, $10,000 a month used to be the big deal in network marketing. Oh, I'm a 5-figure monthly earner. Then it became, I make $100,000 a year. That was the big deal. After $100,000 a year, it became, I'm a multiple 6-figure earner. The bar kept raising, multiple 6-figure earner. Then it became, I'm a $100,000 a month earner. Whoa, $100,000 a month? And this is what I've realized, ladies and gentlemen. I did my study and I found out what happened and why it wasn't people making things happen. Typically what happens is this: in most companies, you'll find 1, 2, maybe 3 6-figure monthly earners. And it stops. Not because of the opportunity is bad. They stop growing. They stop thinking. They put a lid on the group. And the six-figure earner became the big guy or the big lady. And it stops with 2 to maybe 3 of them. And I said, it's not going to happen over here. We're going to think extraordinary. And that was when I had my $1 million a month goal in as well and all that kind of stuff. And ladies, and now I've created a culture whereas if you're making, we don't put anybody, you can make $20 a month and we celebrate your success because you earned it. But I can tell you right now, you've got to create a culture in your team, in your company where the ego doesn't get in the way. You got $40,000 a month.
Okay, if you're in this mindset that you have to keep winning and keep growing and keep getting bigger, that's your decision. I get that. I have issues because it's multi-level marketing. He, I guess, is specifically talking to the people who make a stupid amount of money who want to make an even bigger amount of money. Okay, and maybe you can apply what his principle is or what his philosophies are or what he's actually done on a smaller scale, and hopefully people are gonna win if they want to win. I have issues with the manipulation. I have issues with allocating an idea or allocating success to something that's not necessarily proven. Gosh.
Earners in some companies that I've been part of, they walk, where's my chariot to bring me into the meeting? You know I don't walk in without 2 people over here throwing flowers at my feet. I made 40 grand last month. We've created a culture. We've got people who are in our company making $150,000 a month. We come to some VIP meetings, we don't have enough seats, and we got $150,000 a month earners standing on the wall. Nobody even know who they are because they're grateful. They're not big shots. I'm not a big shot. I go to meetings. Every meeting I go to visit, you know what I do when I first get there? I'm telling you what you have to do. If you want to be a champion, shake the hand of the people who are out there serving. Right when I get to, I shake everybody's hand, and you know what I do? Reach into my wallet or my pocket, and I pay my $5 or whatever the meeting cost is. You pay? Of course.
Are meeting costs a thing? I know that they were a thing in Mary Kay. I know they're like $5 in Amway. I didn't know that other companies charge for them. Okay, I didn't know other companies were doing that.
I'm a distributor. Why shouldn't I pay? I'm $100 grand a month. I walk in, I shouldn't have to pay. Why not? You've already set a bad example in your company. See, those 30 out of the 40 plus people making that money, the 100 grand a month, 35 of them have never made any money in their life. They don't know any other way. They don't feel entitled. They don't feel entitled. But you got to start believing it. Once you start believing, you got to put the actions in. You got to do the work. Whatever the work is, you got to put the work in. Put the work in. This is network marketing. It's not net sit marketing. It's not net play marketing. It's not net think about it marketing. It's not net one day I'll get to it marketing. It's net work marketing. And most people miss the W, the work part. Network marketing. I worked my butt off. I can tell you right now. Now, remember, it's not just work. You've got to be productive, not just active. You got to be productive. I'll tell you why I make what I make today. I'm gonna write this down. This is my schedule when I first started. Okay, my first day. It was because of what I did day one, not because of what I've done over the last 2 years. I set the example. See, everybody want to take notes now.
They were taking notes before.
I've already said the most.
He's being funny, but they were all taking. A lot of them were already taking notes. The camera panned to the crowd, and they were already taking notes. So, all right.
You didn't write notes when I said they won't outfriend me. That's more important than what I'm gonna put on the board right now. But see, anything that's skill related, we want to take notes. Anything that's really inspiration related, that really matters, we don't.
Skills matter. The technical part of selling matters.
Don't worry, my group's the same way. It's not just you. First day, this is what I did, ladies and gentlemen. Work. Why? I knew. Remember I told you I got to believe much bigger, much faster. I only set 2 income goals or 3 income goals since I've been in been in my company. Sorry to talk about that company. But anyway, set 3 income goals since I started. My first goal was my first week. My first week's goal was to make $70,000 my first week. Yes, $70,000 was my first week's income goal. I missed it, didn't make it. Make $25,830. But it didn't matter. That was my goal. My second goal, 18-month goal, $250,000 a month. Missed that one too, hit 249. Why? Your business should be predictable. This is a business. I know my business. You got to know your company and your business. I know my business, and it's just as predictable as Exxon knows how much sales of oil they're going to do in the year 2015, and it hasn't come yet. But if you ask any of the executives, they can tell you with a small margin of error what the results are going to be, because there are certain things that cause a certain effect in the business. You've got to figure that out for your company, but it is predictable. You can't be out there, well, I'm just going to throw enough mud on the wall until it sticks. It doesn't work that way. Eric talked about the 90-day game plan. It's predictable. What are you going to get done in 90 days? This is what I did. Day 1.
The 90-day game plan, I didn't know that was a thing. I know that JLW just did it with her team. I think that WFAB was doing it too. I wonder where they're getting this from.
I called that group of 32 people. This is what I told them. It was actually 32 people I've sponsored. I had 16 of them on the call. This is what I told them. I said, listen, my current company, I'm launching tomorrow. If those of you who want to know what I'm doing, be on my conference call tomorrow. They were on my conference call at 10 a.m. 10 a.m. I had 16 people on the call. I explained to them, I said, listen, don't ever ask me anything about our previous company anymore. You've got 24 hours to ask me about that company. I will know that word is no longer in my vocabulary. I never said anything good or bad about the company. I have never left the company and talked bad about them, ever. Didn't matter what took place, okay? Now, and so what happened is this here. I said, guys, listen, you guys are, right now, we're going to do my first, what I call First Movers Advantage conference call. I'm sideways. This way. This better? Okay, here we go. I said I'm going to do my first Movers Advantage conference call. It's going to start at 12 o'clock. Here I am at 10 a.m. This is what I did. You don't have to copy this. This is what I did. Okay, don't write this stuff down. This don't matter.
They do want to copy it. They want to make as much money as he's made. They want their life to look like his life, the way that he's described it throughout his entire talk on the stage. And so they are going to take notes. They want to take notes. And he's saying, don't take notes. I'm trying to give you the blueprint of what I did to give you an idea to apply it to your life. But they probably want to do exactly what he did, so they get the same results that he did. Come on, computer.
Today, 10 people?
Okay, sorry.
Advantage conference call.
You're sideways.
I'm sideways?
Yeah. You're sideways.
This way?
Yep.
This better? Okay, here we go. I said I'm going to do my first Movers Advantage conference call. It's going to start at 12 o'clock. Here I am at 10 a.m. This is what I did. You don't have to copy this. This is what I did. Okay, don't write this stuff down. This don't matter. Whatever your method of exposures are, that's what you do. Get with your upline. Get the mentality that I had. Not this, the mentality. So 12 o'clock comes. This is what I did here. I said, guys, listen, out of these 16 people, I said, I suggest you have 10 people on the conference call. They said, well, okay, 12 o'clock when? Next Tuesday? I said, no. Today. Today? 10 people? We only have an hour and a half. I say, exactly. You guys are already in. I got to start making phone calls. Goodbye. How many of you have talked to your prospects about doing a meeting or a call? Well, I've got to give them 36 hours to get the baby. You're not going to win big. Not if you want to launch something. Remember, professionals launch a business. Amateurs join a business.
I disagree. I understand what he's trying to say, but I disagree.
I don't join anything. I am a launcher. I launch. Okay? When you look at...
He's specifically looking for people to join his downline, though. He's saying that he's launching, and I'm guessing that he's wanting his own people to launch, but he's looking for people to join his downline, which by definition are the amateurs he's disparaging here, talking about joining his business when he's looking for those people to join his business.
Microsoft, did they launch Xbox or did they just announce it? They launched it. Sony, they launched this new PS4, whatever it is, however many millions pre-ordered and sold. They launched it. I'm a businessman. You are a business person. You should launch it. This is what happened. 125 people showed up on that conference call. On that conference, don't clap, don't clap. It's not the number, it's the attitude, it's the mentality. My group before, they saw me give people 24, 36 hours to prepare for a stupid conference call. You're sitting at home. You don't need 3 days. If you found a pot of gold and you needed a few friends to come help you get it and they told you can get all that you want, are you gonna say, well, I can't call Leroy because he needs 3 days? Leroy, listen, I found a pot of, you better get, Leroy's like, where is it? I'm putting on my pajamas right now. I'm coming out the door. If you make it important enough. Some of you don't make it important enough. My next call was at 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock, guess what? We had 225 people on the conference call because I told them the exact same thing. I painted the dream. I couldn't even explain the comp plan at all. Didn't know all the details. But when I told those 225 people, I said, listen, you guys are the second people to hear about it. I'm working on something called Project 5,000. 90 days, I want to put 5,000 people in this organization. And nobody has signed up yet. And none of you on this call can sign up either. But we're going to do another conference call. They say when? It's going to be at 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock, I did another conference call. Guess what we had? 435 people on that conference call.
I don't think these numbers
That's a lot of activity.
Look, that doesn't logically make sense, and here's why. 12, 1, 2, 2, 2, 4, 4. Is he giving an actual like representation, an actual number to reflect what happened? Do I believe that he had a lot of people? Yes, I do. But it doesn't make sense that the first number is matching up with the times that he is writing down. Is he making a point? I'd wish like it was just an actual representation of actual numbers.
That was half my day. 6 o'clock. No more conference calls. Did my first home meeting at my house. I'll never forget, I had on a white t-shirt, shorts, flip-flops. Didn't even have time to get dressed. I lost 18 pounds. I thought it was because of our product. That's the testimony I was giving. It was really because I forgot to eat while I was launching. I was so fired up and excited. That's what was happening. 6 o'clock came. This is what I had. I had 25 people show up at my house and say, come on in. Told them about Project 5,000. And I'm sitting there spitting in all this stuff and telling them all about the stuff. Whiteboard, no PowerPoint. Didn't have PowerPoints for 6 months. No PowerPoints. I drew on a board, told them what my vision was, what we were about to accomplish, and that we're about to do the biggest project we've ever done in our lifetime. And if you want to get started, you can. That's what happened. At 7:45, you know what was happening at 7:45? 7:30, I mean, my doorbell was ringing with the second group of people that were invited. 35 people showed up at my house. And you know what I told those people here? I said, listen, the first 25, I said, guys, I got to wrap this up. We got another group of people that's coming over here. If you want to get in, you can. But go ahead over here to the dining room. My wife has the applications over there, blah, blah, blah. You can get signed up over there. But I've got another group of people that's coming in, and I can't be late with them. By the way, those of you who go ahead and sign up now, this group that's behind you, they possibly could be in your organization if you go ahead and get in right now. All right? So this is 7:30. Guess what happened at 9 o'clock, ladies and gentlemen? 9 o'clock. Guess what I had? I had another 40 people show up at my house. And I was running shift work. Okay, 10 o'clock, guess what? I did my last meeting for the day, and I think at 10 o'clock I had about 50 people show up at my house, and I'm doing the same thing. I lost my voice. I did that for the first day. You know what my leaders were doing? They're looking at me like, this dude is crazy. I've never seen him like this before. You know why they never seen me like that before? Because I had never done all that I could do. I had never gone all out. I had never sold completely out. It ain't because of what my product is. It ain't because of my comp plan. It's because of what I did day one. I kept this up for 2 weeks straight. This is not including the one-on-ones that I did. This is not including the three-way calls. This was my schedule every day. Group calls, 4 a day, 4 home meetings a day that I was doing every single day. And what I did is I showed them an example, and they went out and they started doing the exact same thing. That's why my results were where they were. My first day, if you count it up, I exposed almost 700 people. I did more in my first 24 hours than some people do all year. It's not because I do magic. It's because of what the math is.
He's talking about math, but earlier on, he was talking about motivation. And I mean, that's great in general. That's great in concept that you're showing your team how to run. If you were in sales, I think it would be traditional sales. It'd be different. I wouldn't take necessarily as much of an issue. I definitely have thoughts about, again, your own reps being able to purchase volume that goes towards their rank ups, their quote unquote rank ups, and you being able to buy towards your own rank up, and you also making commission off of volume purchased underneath you, even when that volume does not move to actual customers. I think that's an issue.
Simple. You can do the same thing. It's not, okay, I got rich quick. I compress time frames. Compress time frames. This is the work. You do the action, and ladies and gentlemen, when you put the action in, whatever your action is, you find out what your mentor or your coach tells you need to do, and that's what you need to do. You put the work in, and don't give any excuses why you can't do it. Excuses don't work.
This is how the
now I know.
Let me see if I can find it. Where is it? Roadcaster. I just need to look at where is it? Yes. Is this a weak clap? Is this the weak clap? That's how it sounded. A weak clap. Oh my gosh. I mean, they're taking notes.
I may be a little too intense. I get excited when I talk about my dream. I get excited and passionate when I talk about what works and what's going on. That's just who I am. I don't apologize for it. But I don't want you to think some of you that I'm yelling at you, because I don't know many of you in here. I don't want you to think he's yelling at me. Eric brought this crazy wild man on stage, and he was spitting and yelling, and he looked at me and he was pointing at me. And no, I'm yelling in love. I love you. I want you to just do this thing, okay? That's what I want you to do, all right? And I promise you, your group, they will catch on. When you do the action, they will follow what you do. They won't listen to what you say. This is what I want you to do.
Behavior control? Is that what we're doing now?
Real quick. I got 2 minutes, real quick. Everybody stand up real quick. I know your butt's been hurting around now. Real quick, stand up real quick. Stretch your arms all the way to the left, all the way to the right. Put your arms behind your back. Put them on your backside. Now pull your underwear out your butt. Wiggle around if you have to real quick, okay? Now I want you to stretch all the way up. Take your palm of your hands, and I want you to act like you're actually you're pushing up on the roof, on the ceiling. You're pushing up on the ceiling with the palm of your hand.
Oh,
palm of your hand, pushing up on a stretch. You should feel it right here. You should feel it right here. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Take your left hand, put it behind your back. Now stretch real high with this hand here. Real high, real high. I want you to take this hand, the right hand. I want you to just close it up like this. Make a fist, okay? And stretch those muscles, stretch those muscles. This is a 2-minute drill here. Stretch those muscles. Now what I want you to do is I want you to do this right here. Stretch those 3 fingers by making an O like this, okay? Make an O like this. See that? Stretch. You should feel it right here, okay? Now this is what I want you to do. I want you to take that O. I want you to put it right here on your chin. I said your chin. See, people will do what you do, not what you say.
Oh my God, that's rude.
They do what you do. I said chin just as clear as day, but you did what I did. That's not a 2-minute drill exercise. I just want to show you people do what you do. Sit down. Now, so you do that, and then you'll have the results. This is what the results are, ladies and gentlemen. The results are...
People are going to do what you do. Behavior control. And if you're in a leadership position, if you're in a position of influence, then use some discretion. Realize that there's a lot of responsibility that comes with that influence, in my opinion. And you shouldn't be pushing people towards things just because you can.
Some of you who are part-time, you will start being able to go to bed when you get tired of staying up. The results are you'll be able to wake up when you get tired of sleeping. See, those actions are going to produce the results. Then you'll be able to have what we call freedom. You'll be able to have retirement parties like we would have. I'll never forget being able to retire people and pick them up, take them with limousines and have roses and all kind of stuff in there. And the last time that they would ever look at an office building, because we retired them from this.
Dang it. Sorry.
Because of networking. You'll be able to go wherever it is that you want to go with your friends, and guess what? They can afford to pay for themselves. That was one of my goals. I just want to go somewhere where everybody else can afford to pay for it. That's the results. Okay? The results is, I tell you, if you do this the right way and if you operate on the right principles, you will have a better marriage. Most network marketing ruined my marriage. No, it's not true. It was already bad from the beginning. Network marketing exposed the problems that you didn't fix.
Incorrect. When I was in multi-level marketing, the 2 times I was in, there was a huge time requirement, and there was, the time requirement was the big ticket item, and then there was conflict because when my spouse got on the call with my former upline and got some of his questions answered, and a picture was painted about what the opportunity looked like and what it was going to look like for our family. And what actually happened was 2 completely different things. And then there was more and more of a time suck that happened. And also, I was selling a lot of product, and I was also encouraged by my upline to reinvest all of my earnings back into product in the company, because if I didn't have a full $10,000 inventory at one time, then how was I going to be able to serve my customers even though they had access to 2-day shipping? And that was a point of contention, only because when you're not in the midst of a commercial cult, you can see a lot clearer than the person stuck in it. And my spouse could see a lot clearer about the manipulation that was going on. You could see a lot clearer about the time discrepancy that was going on, the time that I was told it would take to work the job, and the 40 to 50 hours a week I was working it. I think that it is disingenuous of him to paint with a broad brush about what the status of every single relationship is like in network marketing, and can confidently speak to multi-level marketing's impact on those relationships. I don't think that's very fair. And it obviously fits his narrative, and that's fine. I have my own bias. I have my own slant. I have my own perspective about the dangers that I see, the potential ditches I see with multi-level marketing. I don't think I'm hiding it. I don't want to hide it. I want to be clear, but I would like to have a conversation, and to boil down multi-level marketing's impact on someone's marriage, that they were already having problems. That's not fair. I don't think that's fair at all.
But when you do what I'm talking about, your marriage will become solid. You'll become a better father. My son, he's
what I'm talking about. You're going to become a better person. Your marriage is going to become better. You're going to become a better version of whatever you want it to be. The promises are out of control.
Because of this industry. That's my biggest result, not my money. My son's 16 years old. He is a tiger. He is off the hook. I'm telling you, the boy's sharp. Sharp. Why? Because he's seen mommy and daddy go out and do what they're supposed to do. Work ethic like crazy. Dream is huge. He's ready for the world. 2 years ago, he set a goal to make $100,000 for the summer. He came up short. He only made 60 and donated all 60 to the victims who had actually got hurt in the hurricanes over there in Tennessee and Alabama. The boy's bad. He was 14 years old. He says, Dad, I want to make 100 grand this summer. Think much bigger, much faster. See, to him, that's normal. It's normal. He was asking me about one of my guys. He says, "Is Uncle Ed? How much money did Uncle Ed make?" I said, "He made almost $2 million. What is he waiting on? That's all he made?"
Oh, geez.
And he's not sarcastic. Average is taught. Above average is as well. But those are some of the results, ladies and gentlemen. Some of the results, the results are nothing phases you anymore. I lay down at night. My biggest result that I have, ladies, when I lay down at night, my wife and I, we lay down at night, it's peaceful sleep. We think about nothing. We owe nobody anything.
What about your downline?
Do we have material? Yeah, we got material stuff. It's for you. For some of y'all to believe.
No. So you only bought material stuff so you can show people and give them belief? No, I don't think that isn't accurate. I don't think that is an accurate. I don't think that's an accurate position at all. I think you buy stuff that you need. I think people buy stuff that they want when they're able to afford it. I think he and his wife certainly can afford it. I think they bought the stuff that their family needed, and maybe more so that their family wanted, and the stuff that their kids wanted. I don't think you should put your downline and put other people in your audience in that position that you bought all that stuff for them to breathe belief into them. No thanks. No thank you at all.
When I walked in here earlier with my jogging suit on, nobody even knew who I was. I got to come in blinged out for people. Oh, yeah, that must be him. I like nice stuff. That don't mean nothing to me. Here, right there in California, I never forget, was going to do a meeting. This is the real result. We're going to do a meeting. We bought a house in California for our black diamonds, okay? For people who want to come in and be able to just do a little whatever it is, nice.
We just bought a house in California just for whatever. That's a different, I mean, that is wealth. That absolutely is wealth. I think that is, he's saying that he's not, earlier on in the talk, he was saying that he's, he could take or leave his wealth. He could take, it's not about the money. And like, he has enough money to be able to buy impressive things. And those impressive decisions continually say something to people who are on his team. And it is continually saying something to people who are not on his team. It's a revolving sales pitch. It's the sales pitch that keeps on giving. At least that's my opinion.
Stuff we just say, let's do it. 11,000 square feet, 10 bedrooms, 9 bathrooms, no mortgage. It's off the hook. We just put $1 million in the backyard.
$1 million?
That's the results.
Wow.
But we were leaving there to go do a meeting. Guess what happened?
Wow.
We were leaving. We knew we were going to be in a hotel. People were working at the house, so we took all of our jewelry, and we went to go do the meeting. Our hotel wasn't ready, so we went to the shopping mall, left bags in the car, forgot about it. We normally don't leave bags in the car. And guess what happened? Just so happened, our stuff was in the car, and somebody right in front of valet parking stole our stuff.
What?
My wife's ring, wedding ring. $370,000 wedding ring. Gone. This watch I got on here, she's got one too. Both of them were gone.
Oh my God.
Gone. Almost $800,000 worth of stuff stolen.
Oh my God. That's a lot of money. That is a lot of money. And what are we going
Let
to
me
say
tell you
about
what
it?
the results are. Before, I would have had a syllogism. I would have closed them all up. Nobody gonna move until I get my stuff.
It's funny.
But because what the results are, I said, honey, listen. We didn't have to encounter this. We don't have any memories of anybody holding a gun to us. We don't have any memories of seeing it going. It was $800,000 worth of stuff. That's not a problem whatsoever. That's 17 days worth of our income. So we'll get it back in 17 days. Don't worry about it. Because now the focus is on more importance. Before, man, it's taking this jacket. There's gonna be some furniture moving around there. Those are the results. The results of being able to take that house and take my family, and I take about 30 people in my family, fly them up to for Christmas and stuff like that, and just spoil them. December is my month for me. Some of you, I'd love for you to join me in this. This is what I did. I started 8 years ago. December, I abstained from purchasing anything for myself. Nothing for me, nothing for Holton. Completely abstain. Can't buy me anything. Nobody forced me to do this. I just started doing it. And all I would do back then is I'd take $1,200 and I'd make sure I give 12 $100 tips to people who are expecting a $5 or a $10 tip. I go into like a Denny's, eat, have a little $15 meal.
They were doing this type of thing recently. I think it was like where it was like tip the bill or something like that. It was kind of going around maybe a few years ago. I don't remember, but I mean, I like the idea of being generous. Pairing this up with what he just said about losing $800,000 and that they were just going to buy. I mean, I'm guessing insurance paid for some of it, but that it was like a non-issue because it was only 17 days worth of income. It kind of hits differently. It's hard to hear that in context with this.
Leave a $100 tip because I noticed the difference so little to me, how big of a difference it made to so many other people. I wouldn't stay around to shake their hand and talk to them because I didn't want to do it for recognition. I wanted to do it because I really want to make a small little difference.
He's doing it for recognition now and he's on this stage telling what he's doing. He's still getting that bump of that feel good, and that's great that he gave back $1,200 to people. I mean, and just
But it's grown now. I call it my 12 days of Christmas. December, my goal is to find opportunities and spoil people. I never look for the recognition for it. Next year, 2014, my wife and I are finding opportunities to give large sums of money away.
good.
Next year, we'll give away
Cool.
multiple seven figures that people won't even know about.
Good. I mean,
But
that's
there's
cool.
causes and there's people, and this is why we do it, because it replenishes the joy, and you cannot put a price tag on joy.
So is he saying that he's doing it to feel joy? Okay, I mean, I can't really say anything. I don't want to say anything that I'm gonna regret.
You can have all the money in the world, and we make a nice bit of it. But I can tell you the biggest thing that we have is we're free. Not just because we don't owe anybody anything. We're free because our conscience is free. There's nobody can say Holton backstabbed him. There's nobody who can say Holton took this from him. No, guys, that's the result when you do it the right way.
I think that is relative. I think that I'm glad that he uses whatever perspective he wants to feel better about multi-level marketing. I don't necessarily agree with being able to sleep peacefully regarding the multi-level marketing opportunity. I personally do not.
I love spoiling our parents. And with closing, I want to show you a video of a couple things that we did. You can do this now. But remember, I started with just $100 tips. $100 tips. $100 tips. Okay? $100 tips. This Christmas here, I'll probably tip somewhere around about $30,000.
Stop telling
I
us
started with
then.
100. Okay? It started with 100. I don't do it so I can receive. I do it because I want to receive the joy. I don't want the monetary. No, it don't work that way. But I just go out there and you just do. Watch what a difference it'll make in your life, the person you become.
He just said that he was not going to tell people about how much money he was going to give, or that people were not going to be aware of how much he was going to give. And he's doing that here. He's still getting the recognition because he's talking about specific amounts on this stage and telling people about these incredible tips and gifts, these financial gifts that he's giving away. It seems like it's in contrast with what he said that he wants to do, and then he seems to be making exceptions for this audience.
And the people that you start to attract. Thoughts determine, the domino effect is your speech. Your speech determines and domino affect your beliefs. Your beliefs domino affect your actions, and your actions domino affect your results. Let's roll this video here real quick as I end up.
That was a long video.
I always had a dream to buy my mom a house. She used to always tell me about this house.
Didn't he just trash his mom at the beginning of this talk, and now he's talking about buying her a home?
And she would visit it. And this house here, this was years ago. I went and bought this house for my mom. This was her dream house. She never knew. I wish I had the video for that one. It was the model house that she'd always go and visit. And one day I bought it, and I went and made a negotiation with the people. I bought that house in the lot next door, and I says, the only negotiation is this. I need to close today, and I need every piece of furniture the way she remembered it to stay in here. And it was just like this. And this is one of my results of being able to spoil my mom. And when she came there, she thought she was coming to visit the guest house again, and we had 75 people there, and said, no, this is yours.
Oh, that's sweet.
It's not the money. Some of you can do it right now, but I want you to see this here. This is my mother-in-law. We just did this in June. We just bought her her dream car. She had no idea what was going on, and she just see. You can't buy this. They're our biggest cheerleaders and supporters.
They're our biggest cheerleaders and supporters, but he spent the first 20 minutes of the talk trashing his mom about her being the negative voice, and how she taught him all these negative things. And I know he said this was his mother-in-law, but how do you reconcile both of those positions in your talk, when in the beginning you were painting your mom in a negative light? And I guess it's all okay because you bought her a home. And in the same instance with your mother-in-law, that's great. That's wonderful that you bought your mom a house. That's wonderful that you bought your mother-in-law a car. That's incredible. That's incredibly generous. I have a hard time, again, I just have a hard time reconciling what happened at the beginning of his speech and what's happening here. And if you are a Holton Buggs fan, or if you work, if you're an independent contractor with ibüümerang, this talk is from 2014. It was before he started ibüümerang, and I know not everyone's going to agree with what I have to say. They won't necessarily agree with the perspective I have. I do have a slant. I don't. I think that network marketing has a very large and widespread negative impact. And if that hasn't happened to you, I can't speak to anyone's specific experience except my own and the people on my team that were harmed from multi-level marketing. And if you have opposing opinions, leave them in the comments. I'd love to talk to you. We have kind of a general non-disparagement, no bullying, no harassment on my channel. So I hope that you feel free and comfortable enough to leave me a message and we can start a conversation.
That's the results. When you do it, when you go out there and make the money, these are some of the results.
Exactly. I'm not gonna work for him. It's a nice car.
This is my dad. I just did this 2 weeks ago. He's coming out of the restaurant. We're coming out of Ruth Chris. He have no idea.
Oh.
Limited edition Stingray, 2014 Corvette Stingray. Watch him now, watch him.
What is the purpose of this video?
You can't buy that. First time I ever saw my dad cry. He still drives it with the thing in the window that says "Happy Birthday, Dad." Pops. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, you go out there, make it happen. Those beliefs will determine actions. Those actions will give you the results. Eric, I want to thank you so much. Lisa, Curtis, thank you. I know I went over. Appreciate you guys. Go out there. Let's make it happen. Mr. Holton Buggs.
I love you, man. That was awesome. That was absolutely good.
Mr. Holton Buggs, give it up. Yes. Woo!
I gotta rewind that because I think that was Curtis. Okay. Let's rewind it for a second.
Buggs!
I love you, man. That was awesome. That was absolutely.
I can't really see it.
Mr. Holton Buggs, give it up!
I think that's Curtis, yeah.
Yes! Woo! Are you ready? Yes! GoPro!
Oh, God, that's the first thing. GoPro. Okay. Well, thanks so much for sticking with me, replay crew. Y'all are the best. This was a long video. I didn't realize the video was this long, so I'm just gonna leave it on my channel. And thanks so much for the live chat, for hanging out earlier on in the stream. Big shout out to the replay crew. If you have questions, comments, leave them in the comment section. And if you have disagreements with what I talked about, leave those in the comment section too. Just a reminder that we do not disparage, bully, or hate here, and I will be using my discretion in keeping the comment section free and inside of the guidelines of those rules. Hope you have a great rest of your day or evening whenever you do catch this stream. I will be here for the next live stream. And thanks so much for joining us. I'll see you next time. I'm DC. I'm an MLM dropout and excited to continue making content. Bye.